studios are brought to you by ICCU at ICCU.com.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Kelly swings around the screen. Fire left corner, Pete. Open for three. Over the rim. Rebound. Krivas for Arizona. Puts it on the floor. Pump fake. Jam it home. Will not be denied.
It's way more physical. Like, referees almost let you fight.
Big Motiejus Krivas didn't need to fight last night. Arizona got him involved in the offense right off the jump. I mentioned it last night on Murray Wealth Management Arizona Game Day, the post-game show, that it was almost like a scripted situation where Tommy Lloyd came right out and said, let's carve out some offense for the big man and get him going, because to be quite frank, Motiejus Krivas did not get real going in the first Big 12 game on the road in Salt Lake City, and this is a guy that has to be a major part of this offense. So I loved it. I loved early on how they went to Mo, posting him up. He scored some baskets. Yeah, he's going to turn it over on occasion, but man, he drew fouls. The count was 9. 9 drawn fouls last night by the big man. And did that pay dividends at the line? I mean, let's just do the math here, people. Let's do the math on that. 9 drawn fouls, 12 free throws, 11 makes for Motiejus Krivas. That's a pretty high percentage play right there, I would say. To get the ball to Mo Krivas, he's either going to score for you by making a basket. If he gets fouled, he's turning into one of the best free throw shooters on this team. I mean, you're smelling Anthony Del Orso range right there right now with Mo Krivas making 11 out of 12 from the line. I'll take that every day in the week. That's as high percentage as it gets. As high percentage as it gets. More of that, please. More Motiejus Krivas from Julie. I love how he says that in the pregame introductions. Julie. That's where he's from in Lithuania. It's spelled Saulii. Julie. 7-2. Motiejus Krivas. What did you like about last night's 25-point win over the Kansas State Wildcats? 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290. Again, so let's just count the shots. 10 shots from the field for Motiejus Krivas. 12 shots from the line. That's 22 shots, of which he made 18. He made 18 of 22 shots last night. What's my U-high math on that? I would say pretty close to 80%, if not more. That is pretty high percentage play for this Arizona Wildcats offense. At least it was last night, and I think it can be moving forward. 82%. 82%. So let's see more of that right there for the Arizona Wildcats moving forward. 520-848-1290. Back in the hot seat today. It's been a little bit of a weird week, dealing with some stuff outside of the station. That's why we did not have a show on Tuesday. I was not here on Monday. I might not be here tomorrow, but we were here last night, today, and hopefully, if all things go well, we'll be right here with you again Saturday as well for Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day as the Wildcats look for win number 16 on the road as they make their first trek as a Big 12 team into TCU. So there's a lot of catching up to do. I haven't really had a chance to talk about San Diego last week. Carlos Jr. Have you ever been to Carl's Jr., J-Dub?
Yes.
Yes. Carl's Jr. was a staple when I was in college. We had one right on campus there. I don't think they have one on campus here at the University of Arizona. But they have Steak and Shake, which is even better. Is the Steak and Shake burger, is that still at the I have not been to the Union in forever, so I don't know if Steak and Shake is still there, but I know it was there at one point, and that's coming from the Midwest, that's like Steak and Shake in the Midwest is like In-N-Out Burger here. It's kind of the same crazed best burger concept type of thing. If you grew up in Illinois or Indiana or Ohio or any of those places in the Midwest, it's very much like In-N-Out Burger out here on the West Coast, and they had one in the Union for a number of years. I don't know if they still have it. I haven't been in the Union in forever. But Carl's Jr., we had a Carl's Jr. on campus at USC when I was there. So whenever you take a road trip with your wife, there's always funny stuff that's going to come out of it. And so she thought the name of the restaurant was Carlos Jr. Not Carl's Jr., but Carlos Jr. I was like, no, wife, I know we're in the Southwest, and I know we're close to the country of Mexico, but the name of the restaurant is not Carlos Jr. It's Carl's Jr.
So what does she call Hardee's?
Good question.
Because Hardee's is Cleveland and Carl's Jr. is west of the Mississippi. They're the same chain, same thing. Okay. So a lot of people know Hardee's, don't know Carl's Jr. It's because you're from the East.
Right.
That's how that works.
I used to eat at Hardee's back when I was in high school. We had the Hardee's right up the street.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Yeah, used to walk up there all the time. I don't eat. It's weird. I think I definitely ate at Carl's Jr. more in California probably than I ate at Hardee's. Because to me, Hardee's was kind of like just like the third on the list of burger joints,
right?
And I guess when you've got one like right in the Union, it just makes it a little bit because you can't you're just kind of a lot of times you're just going where the food is, and the food was there. It's one of the places in the Union, so we ate there quite a bit in college. But I would probably think that I liked their burgers more than Hardee's, but it could probably be the same burger. I just didn't really know that. Because I'm not sure I knew that they were connected like that.
Well, it's owned by the same company, and like for the longest time, they had basically the same menu. It may not be the same menu now, but I do know that. I was a manager in the student union for Sausage Deli back in the day, right next to the dorms.
Sausage Deli.
Yeah. So there's a lot of people who would come in for Sausage Deli for sure. And then we had Carl's Jr. on campus at the U of A, DK, right when the $2 tacos for 50 cents or 2 tacos for $1 promotion started, and they were open 24 hours a day. So prior to modern campus, if you go down to university now, it's just wall-to-wall businesses. But back in those days, it was actually quite a lot of houses. Those are all old houses converted into businesses. There weren't as many restaurants, anywhere near as many as there are now in the 90s. So, yeah, Carl's Jr. late night after one too many old English 40s, you would definitely go by there to get a couple tacos.
I do not, I just Googled Steak and Shake Tucson, and it appears that the one in the Union is permanently closed. It came up with the big red permanently closed bar.
So many options
above
these
it.
days.
So, yeah, I don't know what moved in. I got to go. I probably should walk through the Union just so I'm up to date on what's happening on campus. I seriously, I can't remember the last time I was in the Union. It's probably been at least 4 years. I just don't ever get over much to that side of campus much anymore. And so, but I probably should just kind of cruise through and see. I'm not even sure if the Chick-fil-A is still there. I think I thought I heard people say that they got rid of that as well. So it might be a whole different list of things to eat at the student center at the University of Arizona now than the last time I was there. But yeah, I remember when they opened that Steak and Shake. I was there like the second day. I was like, oh my God, that was back. I was doing my wife and I for a number of years did Big Brother Big Sister. And I used to always take my little brother there. We'd go to Steak and Shake. I was like, you think you have In-N-Out Burger and you love that? You need to go have a Steak and Shake. And we went there probably 2 or 3 times, and he loved it. He absolutely loved Steak and Shake. So that was good stuff right there. J.W. Madden, your thoughts on what you saw from Mr. Motiellas Crivas last night?
Well, I'll bring back myself from 24 hours ago. You ready?
Yes.
For me, it starts with feeding the bigs early and often. I'd like to see Koa, Mo Krivas, and Tobe Awaka with 40 to 50 points. So, yeah, my first key last night was get the bigs the ball early. And as you said, I mean, Mo Krivas has always had the potential to be a go-to unstoppable force on the block. From his freshman season, we saw glimpses of that. He's just got rounded out. His balance is much better now. And he's had a lot of really good quality players to practice against. Think about all the bigs that Arizona's had on campus, all the way, from, it doesn't matter. But the point is, he has been playing so confidently offensively, DK. It's nice to see a big like that take advantage of a defense that's a little bit undersized. And what are you going to do? I mean, we heard their coach last night say, with Arizona, it's pick your poison, and it's all poison. And what that means is you really have no aspect of Arizona's game you can take away that they aren't strong in other areas. So if you're going to double on the post, you've got slashers and shooters that can, hurt you there. If you, find a way to try to take Koa Pete out of the game, then obviously Tobe Awaka and Mo Krivas can hurt you on the block. Just and on the other side, DK, what people maybe don't talk about enough is Mo Krivas' defense has improved exponentially in the last 3 or 4 years. He's really walling up, blocking shots, 2 arms straight in the air. I expect him, he shoots 62, 63% on the season. So, I mean, I expect Mo Krivas to make more shots than he misses. But as far as the defensive effort, the rebounding, just really kind of figuring it all out, and it seems like he's very comfortable out there despite the physicality of the Big 12. Just seems like Mo Krivas is such a great centerpiece. I know last year he was going to potentially be the focal point of the offense before that injury. Now he's surrounded by much more skilled offensive players. We've seen, obviously, Braden Burries. What was he, 12 for 16 last night himself? There's a lot of efficient scores around him, which means pick your poison. You can't double Mo Krivas if Braden Burries is going to cut for a layup. So that's really the issue that scouting this Arizona team is. And right now, I mean, there's really nothing you can do versus Mo and Tobe on the block and Koa from, the elbow because all 3 of those guys are so physically imposing. They're 7'2", DK. We talk about Tobe's strength, but Mo Krivas is a huge human being. There's not a lot of teams that have a guy who can match up with that. So his skill set is really, blending with his physicality right now. And it's a nightmare matchup for teams. You don't think of Mo Krivas as being the guy you got to try to, figure out on this Arizona team. There's a lot of names prior to that, maybe JB first and foremost among them. But right now, I mean, as an afterthought, if you don't send extra attention, he's going to be putting double-doubles the rest of the season, DK. You wanted to see his first, 2 double-doubles in the last 3 games?
Yeah.
Just super impressive.
Yesterday was the second time he's taken more than 10 shots in a game. The other time was Alabama, but not as good a shooting game that night. He went 5 for 16. That was the night he was getting a lot of shots blocked from behind and things like that. Didn't really get too many shots blocked in the game last night. And it was also just the second time he's taken more than 10 free throws in a game. He had taken 11 in the game against Bethune-Cookman. He had 12 last night. So, again, 56 for 69 on the season, shooting 81% for the Arizona Wildcats.
So, as a freshman, he did have one 20-point game, and that came against, I think it was Belmont. So, early in the season, played Belmont. He got his 20 points. Last season, he had, I think 18 was his high before he got injured. 25, DK, is his career high by 5 points. So it was a career night for Mo. Just really efficient out there.
He is, and I guess it depends on how you look at it in terms of the free throw shooting. I mean, you're 15 games in. Anthony Dillerson has the highest percentage, but Anthony's only taken 31 free throws this season.
Right.
Whereas Jaden has taken 75, Mo has taken 69, and Braden has taken 50. So if you go by those 3, obviously he's second on the team behind Jaden Bradley, who makes his free throws at an 83%.
If you play a lot of close games, your guards get a lot of free throws because there's a lot of fouling towards the end, right? But if you're not playing close games, they had 9 straight 20-point wins, then it's generally the bigs. I mean, this is a physical, forceful Arizona front line. So especially early in games, you're going to see a lot of physicality. It just depends. The refs might have called it a little bit tighter last night than we're used to in the Big 12. But it's never surprising, especially with this inside-out style that Coach Lloyd plays, that you're going to see the bigs with predominantly the most of the free throw attempts. And then you mentioned Braden Burries. I mean, Braden Burries, you might think of him as a shooter, but Braden Burries really gets busy, slashing, pull-ups, mid-range stuff, and getting right to the cup. I mean, he's really pushing the ball after getting defensive rebounds. So not surprising to see his free throw numbers up as high as well.
520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. We're going to talk continue to talk U of A basketball. You'll hear from Tommy Lloyd, and you'll hear from Motiejus Krivas, as well as we'll maybe throw in some Braden Burries, who had matched his career high last night with 28 points in the ball game. We're going to talk some Suns. The Suns won again last night in another one of my many old hometowns, Memphis, Tennessee. Daryl Joyner, who covers the Suns up in Phoenix, will join us on the show. That's coming up in the 4 o'clock hour. And in the 5 o'clock hour, Anish Shroff, the play-by-play man for the Carolina Panthers. We are Southern Arizona's official home of the NFC South champion Carolina Panthers. And they've got a playoff game coming up this weekend against the Los Angeles Rams. Now, I'll tell you how that's going to – there's a lot of moving parts to this weekend with the NFL as well as college basketball on both the men's and the women's side. So I'll make sure you have an idea of how that's all going to work, because it's going to be a busy Saturday and Sunday of programming here on both Wildcats Radio 1290 and on Freedom 1400. So we are the place to be. There is no other place to be. There's no Cardinals game this week, so you don't need to be at that other station.
There isn't?
Yeah, there's no Cardinals game this weekend. It is a beautiful weekend, as I used to say. It is an absolutely beautiful Sunday for some playoff football in Glendale, Arizona. Unfortunately, there's not going to be a game that day.
Yeah, 9 straight losses at the end of the season will do that. Before we go to break, I do have a present for you.
Oh.
Motiejus Krivas, 7'2", junior, Shule.
Shule. I love it. Shule. That guy. Awesome. Motiejus. We don't call him Mo here. We'll let everyone else call him Mo. He said he doesn't like when people shorten his name, so we don't do that on this show. Motiejus Krivas. DK on the Sports Tip. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290. Cricket getting you home every 20 minutes on the fives with your traffic and your weather.
From the Auto Nation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic. Collisions reported Broadway and Craycroft and Broadway Boulevard, some slowing at the intersection. Collision that occurred Tanque Verde and Camino Pio Decimo and Tanque Verde reported. There's a chance of rain into the evening. Freeze warning in effect through Saturday morning, 35 the low. Sunny, 54 tomorrow and 56 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Member Week is here for pros at Lowe's. Get up to 40% off hundreds of items, plus earn 5 times points on an eligible purchase. Now through January 14th. Point booster subject to exclusions and more terms apply. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Visit Lowe's.com/terms for details. Subject to change.
What's that song that goes ba-da-da-da-da-da?
You mean la-di-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee?
No, he's talking about bum, 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 bum. No, that's not it.
All right, guys, we don't have time for this. Furnaces are breaking down, and we promise we'll be there in one day.
That's it.
With Alaskan AC service guarantee, we'll arrive in one day or your repair is free.
Oh, that song.
One of my favorites. If you have a problem today, Alaskan AC will get to you within one day.
If we don't, the whole repair is free. No matter how much.
So good, people are singing about it.
With Alaskan AC service guarantee, we'll arrive in one day or your repair is free.
Reminds me of that other song that goes boom, chicka boom, chicka boom.
I've never heard that.
Well, you're not as cultured as me. You have about as much culture as a bowl of yogurt.
With Alaskan AC service guarantee, we'll arrive in one day or your repair is free.
AlaskanAC.com.
Progressive presents Employee of the Month. Small Business Edition. Today's recipient from Terry's Tiny Homes, Terry! Sure, as the only employee of her company, Terry was probably the front runner, but saving money getting personalized discounts with a commercial auto quote from Progressive, well, that gave Terry the edge. Over Terry.
Terry!
Keep awkwardly chanting your own name, Terry. You deserve it. Woo! Be your own Terry. See if you could save in as little as 8 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
At Goldberg and Osborne, we know Arizona. It's where we live. It's where we work. It's where we've fought and won cases for the injured since 1989. Throughout our history, we've approached every case with a single focus: you. And we've got thousands of 5-star reviews to prove it. Put us to work for you by calling 1-800-THE-EAGLE today.
Tobacco Barn presents the continuing saga of Captain Tobacco.
We're here at a local Tucson tobacco store where evil high tobacco prices have gone up yet again.
Look, up in the sky.
I'm Captain Tobacco, here to fight evil high tobacco prices.
My hero.
Remember, citizens, save up to 40% on your favorite tobacco products at Tobacco Barn.
Look at those muscles.
Stand back while I hang 5 on these evil high prices.
It's Tucson's only place to save up to 40% on all your favorite tobacco products. You'll pay no city or state sales tax because they're on the reservation. And save up to another $3 off with the coupon at tobaccobarntucson.com.
He did it!
That's why I'm Captain Tobacco, fighting high tobacco prices everywhere.
Hooray! My hero.
Tobacco Barn, Nogales Highway, just south of Valencia. Check tobaccobarntucson.com.
Tell them Captain Tobacco sent you.
Oh, brother.
Hey, man. Yeah, it's me, your furnace, man. Hey, can I get a light here, man? I know we live in Arizona, so I understand I'm not, like as cool as your air conditioner. But I still need a tune-up at least once a year, man. So get the best in town, man. Goodfellas AC, bro. Hey, anybody smell that, man? I swear it wasn't me. Okay, it was me.
Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. GoodfellasAC.com.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. Arizona basketball wins again last night. How about the play of one Motiejas Krivas?
Delhi swings around the screen. Fire at left corner, Pete. Open for 3, over the rim. Rebound, Krivas for Arizona. Puts it on the floor. Pump fake, jam it home! Will not be denied.
Not denied is first straight. 25 points, 12 rebounds for Motiejas Krivas last night in a 101-76 win for the Arizona Wildcats over the Kansas State Wildcats. I mentioned that one of the things that I really loved was the fact that they got Motiejas the ball early in that ball game. Came out trying to establish him right away. Let's hear from Tommy Lloyd on that process.
Yeah, I mean, Mo's a great guy, and I'm probably a little frustrated myself because I think I was on the officials a little bit. I didn't realize he had drawn 9 fouls. I thought there could have been a few more, but I can't get greedy either. And I think he's going to continue to learn how to play against that physicality and finish some of those shots quicker. But yeah, Mo's just a really good player, and he's so reliable at the free throw line. He's really grown as a defender, and he's just a real winner.
Motivated too. He said briefly that he wasn't pleased with his last game, so he wanted to come back and play with.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I don't know if he. I mean, yeah, Mo's a high character guy. He doesn't need me to light a fire under him. I mean, I'm not afraid to push him. because I think he responds to that. But yeah, he's just, you're seeing a guy who's kind of coming into his own. I mean, this is really his second year in college basketball. It was, obviously the previous year was cut short. He was injured, then he got to play, and then he really got injured. So I just think you're seeing a guy who, that we knew was going to be a dominant player in this program, but it's finally coming to fruition.
Yeah, good stuff again. Just the last night, the percentage of scoring from both the field and the line was as high as we've seen from Motiejus Krivas, maybe in his career here, to be so efficient on both ends. But he will tell you, as he has done before this season, that his biggest improvements, and as J-Dub mentioned in the first segment, have come at the defensive end of the floor.
I would say drop coverage. We worked a lot on it during off season and this season, and just moving in drop coverage, I'd say chemistry with the guard, when to switch, when to not. So in that area, I would say.
And I know he talks about drop coverage there, but and I've said before, and he's probably never going to be Henry Vesar, but I like what he's done in not necessarily, I don't think if there's an opposite term of drop coverage, but his up coverage when he gets out on the perimeter and can guard. Whether it's a forward or a guard up top, that's one of the things that stood out to me about him.
Well, he's going to have to, because the issue, again, is if you don't have a 7'2" guy who's 240, 250 to match up with Mo Krivas, there's going to be doubles, and there's going to be reversed offenses. And what that means is if you got a 4 or 5 who can stretch the floor and shoot from 18 to 22 feet, you're trying to pull Mo Krivas away from the basket. You're trying to pull Tobe Awaka away from the rebounding spots. So Mo Krivas is going to need to move his feet, because there are a lot of offenses, especially in this conference, that have set themselves up to have 4s and 5s who can stretch the floor, and they're going to make a concerted effort, DK, to get Motiejus Krivas out there moving his feet. And both those guys, Tobe Awaka and Motiejus Krivas, both very impressive how they can stay in front of guys. Because that's the job. Drop coverage, you're giving that guy that shot, getting up and pressuring it, especially on a screen and roll where you bring the big out and you've got the point guard in a big screen and roll. Mo's going to have to be in that action and figure out, and has done a great job of reading those plays. It's really a lot of mental and reacting. You read the play first, your body does the rest, but figuring out exactly what the offense is trying to do against you. Motiejus Krivas really, really good for his size, DK, at staying in front of some of those guards trying to turn that corner.
There's essentially 3 primary guards on this team. When you talk about Jaden Bradley at the point, Braden Burries, and then Anthony Delorso off the bench. How about Braden Burries right now is your top rebounding guard with 62 rebounds on the season now, 6 more rebounds than his senior compadre, Jaden Bradley, and he's done that off the strength really of the last 2 games where he's combined for 20 boards. 9 against Kansas State, came up just short of a double-double there. Would have been his second consecutive double-double. 11 in the game on Saturday over Utah. Braden Burries talked after the ball game just about his ability to rebound, and that being one of the things that all the coaches have been on him to do a little bit more of.
Last week, Coach Lloyd kind of talked to the team about the emphasis of cutting out and rebounding, and in high school I rebounded a lot, and then I kind of shy away from it when I knew we had a 7'2" Mo and Tobe who gets all the rebounds. So, but I had to get back into it, and I feel like when the guards rebound, it makes the job easier for the bigs, and if you rebound, you can just go.
It's a world of a difference when you talk about the major games the Wildcats have played. If just look at the 5 ranked games. Florida, 0 rebounds for Braden Burries, of course, in some foul trouble there. UCLA, 1 rebound, some foul trouble there as well. UConn, 1 rebound. Auburn, it started going up, 5. Alabama, 7. San Diego State, he only was able to get 3, but now the last 2 games, Power 5 or Power 4 and conference games, 11 and 9.
And bear in mind, this is just like the NFL, okay? It's all about adjustments. So none of those games are equal to each other, meaning that the scout now, DK, is bracket Tobe Awaka. He's the number 1 rebounder in the entire nation. So when opponents are sending extra attention to box out Tobe Awaka with multiple players, to make sure that Moteus Krivas with his 7'2" and long wingspan can't get boards because you're pushing those guys away from the basket, DK. I mean, that's the whole in the scout. Arizona, one of, if not the best rebounding teams in the nation. So what we're seeing now from Braden Burries, we've seen Karchenkov do this quite a bit, Dwayne Aristote, obviously Delhi as well, coming back from the perimeter, from guarding your man at the three-point line and pursuing those rebounds, seeing it's all angles, it's all math. You know, Dennis Rodman, greatest rebound ever. The thing about it, DK, is if you shoot from the baseline, there's an 81% chance that that ball will go to the other side of the rim. So if you understand how rebounding works, you understand angles, pursuing that ball is really just watching the flight of the ball. And being a shooter himself, Braden Burries understands that as well as anybody. So doing a really good job of noticing when his bigs might be occupied with a box out and finding his way to pursue the ball and then push the ball up the court with purpose. Braden Burries really good these last few games, like you mentioned, securing those defensive rebounds and then putting rim pressure by pushing the ball up the court with purpose. Either we've seen a couple times where he's snaked through 2 or 3 defenders for a layup. Also, when you have to send an extra defender to stop Braden Burries and his, on ball, other guys can find themselves open at the three, those secondary three-pointers, sealing at the rim with the bigs. There's a lot of different actions that can come out of pushing the ball like that. So rebounding as well as pushing, just both great from the young guard.
520-848-1290, 520-848-1290 is to get in on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. College basketball, great things happening here in Southern Arizona. You've got Arizona women's basketball coming off their first Big 12 win of the season at home. That was on Tuesday night. They came from behind. They knocked off BYU. It's never easy to beat BYU in anything. But the ladies getting their first win for Becky Burke. She got a little bit of a shower of water in the locker room after the game. That's always fun to see. They're back at home this Saturday against Central Florida. So that'll be at McHale Center. So you can hear that game, as always, over on Freedom 1400 with Derek Palmer. That game begins at 2 o'clock on Saturday. Coverage at 1:45. Men's basketball next on the road at TCU. That will also be a 2 o'clock game. So both games this weekend tipping off at 2 o'clock. That game right here on Wildcats Radio 1290. Our coverage will begin at 10:30 in the morning with Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day. Then we've got you till 1:30, network coverage at 1:30 with tip-off at 2 o'clock. So now there's a bunch of NFL games on Saturday. Unfortunately, because of our commitments, obviously, to the University of Arizona, we will not be able to carry the Panthers game on Wildcats Radio 1290. However, we will have the second half of the Panthers game. We'll probably join around halftime. That is a 2:30 kickoff, Mountain Standard Time. So as soon as we get out of Arizona women's basketball on KTUC Freedom 1400, which usually is generally right around 4:15, we will pick up our coverage of the Carolina Panthers radio network this Saturday on Freedom 1400. So we figure 2:30 kickoff, 4:15. That's going to be right around halftime. So you'll be able to hear the second half of the game coming up this Saturday over on Freedom 1400 KTUC. Then we'll have post-game coverage after Arizona basketball and TCU, as we always do, right here on Wildcats Radio 1290. Myself, G.W. Madden, Kelvin Efon, we'll have that for you. And as soon as we are done, we'll have the second NFL game of the day right here on Wildcats Radio 1290. I'm going to try to see if we can get out in time for kickoff. That's not always the easiest thing to do. Kickoff scheduled, I think, right around 6:15, 6:20 for that game on Saturday. But regardless, we will join that game in progress, and that is the Bears and the Packers. And I know we've got a ton of Packers fans here in Southern Arizona. We've got a ton of Bears fans here in Southern Arizona. And what better than a rivalry to start the playoffs? Game 2 of the postseason, Bears and Packers. You'll hear that game right here on Wildcats Radio 1290 on a Saturday night. So I want to hear from the Bears fan. If you're a Bears fan, I want to hear, how about that? The Bears and the Jaguars, two teams that had double-digit losses last year in the National Football League, in the postseason. And are the Jaguars, are they the number 2 seed, I believe? Or no, they'd be no, because they're playing Saturday. So I think they're 3. So again, but still, The
3-6.
3-6. Yeah, it's a 3-6 game. The Jaguars back in the postseason. So that's awesome to see right there. Obviously, the Panthers hosting a postseason game for the first time in 10 years. We're going to talk about that with Anish Shroff coming up in the 5 o'clock hour. You've heard his voice on our airwaves. He is the play-by-play man for the Carolina Panthers all season. Keep pounding. We'll ask him about T-Mac. We'll ask him about Lathan Ransom and all of that. We'll ask him how Dave Canales has kind of handled, having two pretty capable running backs this season, and Enrico Dowdle and Chuba Hubbard. We'll get all that inside at 5 o'clock. Now, because we did not have a show on Tuesday, we still have not really gotten to our full Arizona football recap from the Holiday Bowl with Wildcat Breakdown. We're going to do that Tuesday, but again, we had to push Tuesday's show, unfortunately, due to some things happening outside the station. But we will get Glenn Howe probably next week, probably next Tuesday. We'll get back and we'll get our complete breakdown thing. To be quite honest with you, I haven't even gotten through the entire game, watching the entire tape yet. So I'm hoping to get through that this weekend at some point so we can be able to kind of fully break it down for you like we normally do. We'll hand out our season awards. We'll do that on Tuesday of next week as well. So still a lot to get to in terms of Arizona football. The portal has been wide open. They've signed a bunch of players. Some players have transferred. We'll get in. I'll give you my thoughts on some of the top, some lower level transfers, guys that never played. We're not going to talk to a lot about them. I will give you my thoughts on Marquise Groves-Killebrew transferring out, his decision to leave the program, Genesis Smith's decision to go to the National Football League. We'll get into that. He was one of the guys that opted out. We talked about that Saturday night. If you didn't get a chance to get in, now's your chance. If you want to air out your feelings on the opt-outs and how that whole thing went down, 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. I'll give you my thoughts on that. They've signed a couple of tight ends. Apparently now we're becoming a little bit more of a tight end school. We finally got a coach that, this is a coaching staff that has had a reputation of really liking to use the tight end. And I think people if anybody's looking at this team and they saw the trajectory shot that happened with Cameron Barmore this season, a guy who, we were not talking about at all in August, and the way he finished that season down the stretch, the catch he made. Now, don't get me wrong. This is a guy that could catch the ball. He's a wide receiver, former wide receiver at the lower levels, but had never played tight end before. Him being able to learn that is when you see what Cameron Barmore did this year across the stretch of that season, that is what development looks like, people. That is what development looks like. In one season, they turned that kid into a bona fide tight end. Now, I don't know if he's going to have a chance to play at the next level, but man, the jump he made from when we first saw him in camp to the end of the year at the Holiday Bowl was just very dramatic.
Can I make a quick suggestion?
Yes.
That was a very passionate paragraph or three you just gave about tight ends, and maybe save a little bit of that energy for Tuesday because I'm sure Glenn Howell has thoughts about Arizona becoming tight end U.
There you go. Cricket has thoughts on the traffic, dealing with a much better weather day than she had yesterday, getting you home every 20 minutes on the fives.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic. With collisions reported, Pima Mine Road near I-19 on Pima Mine Road at I-19, Craycroft and Broadway and Craycroft. Backups, Grant Road and Alvernon Way. Road work there, travel down to one lane each direction, Alvernon and Grant Road. We do have a chance of rain into the evening, a freeze warning through Saturday morning, 35 below, sunny 54 tomorrow, and a 56 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Staples. 2026 is here, and at Staples, deals mean business. Get that back-to-business energy with up to $100 off custom print orders on business cards, flyers, signs, and more. Shop everything you need to fuel the momentum in-store and online. Staples, that was easy. Ends January 31st.
Want to make 2026 your year of adventure? Book that trip and learn a new language with Babbel. Go ahead, make a resolution you can stick to. Now is the time. Babbel's New Year sale is here. Unlock all of the languages on Babbel with a lifetime subscription for 65% off. Turn your daydream into a destination this year with Babbel. Get Babbel's lifetime access for less at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Consistently beating industry benchmarks by over 25% isn't a fluke. It's Cumulus Digital. Smarter marketing with proof. We show you exactly who saw your ad. That kind of precision is why more than 4,000 businesses partner with us every month, whether they need one product or a full digital strategy. Visit cumulusdigital.com today because you're not average and your marketing results shouldn't be either. That's cumulusdigital.com.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now there's a place where you can meet them fast. ZipRecruiter.
Need to hire right away. Start your search for strong candidates. The right fit awaits. Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. And you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
It's basketball season, Wildcat fans, and tickets are on sale now. It's no secret the McHale Center is one of the most electric atmospheres in the country. And now is your chance to be part of the madness as Tommy Lloyd, Jaden Bradley, and the rest of the Wildcats compete for a Big 12 title. Get your tickets now by visiting ArizonaWildcats.com/MBK or call the McHale Center ticket office at 520-621-2287. That's 520-621-CATS.
Hey, Eugene, what's with the giant pile of scratcher tickets?
Just my next greatest idea ever.
Playing the lottery?
That's right, Doug. With all my winnings, I can enroll in the UberTube car repair classes and finally fix your car right. No more disasters, Doug. Your luck is about to change.
Well, then keep on scratching, Eugene.
Good luck, Eugene. But if you need a sure thing for your next set of tires or automotive repair, check out Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. With more than 35 Top Shop awards and our Partners Network 3-year nationwide warranty, you can count on Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care.
And check out this month's special savings.
You'll find an entire page of them online at jackfurriers.com. Savings on tires, oil changes, batteries, wheel alignments, and more.
So call ahead, make an appointment online, or just stop by any of our 14 area locations.
Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Since 1960, here to get you there.
Welcome back to Winter Hack Radio, the place for clever hacks to survive the season. Icy driveway? Well, try spreading sand or birdseed to help with traction. Snowy puppy paws? Well, grab a whisk, brush it off, done. Catch COVID-19? Well, just get...
Actually, there's no hack for COVID-19. But if you test positive, prescription medications for COVID exist. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Meet Lee Platts, a renter whose possessions fill not only her apartment, but also the darkest corners of a mini storage unit. A land of both truth and fiction. Truth, everything inside is protected by Progressive. Fiction, one day Lee will fit into her clothes from senior year of high school. Renters, discover coverage for what you love and what you can't get rid of in Progressive's Protection Zone. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. NFL Super Wild Card Weekend is on the horizon. This guy will be playing in it.
$7 on the line of scrimmage. 4th and 8 from the 48 of Tampa. Hubbard the up back. Young in an empty set. Takes the snap. Here's the pressure. Bryce throws downfield. McMillan behind the defense. Makes the catch inside the 10-yard line.
Urgency, go.
First down, Carolina. Young to McMillan.
Tataroa McMillan and the Carolina Panthers will be hosting the Los Angeles Rams for the second time in less than a month. Carolina beat LA at home already once this season. Can they do it again? Didn't, like J-Dub said, they didn't exactly shine going into the postseason. They've lost 4 of their last 6 games. Talk about backing in to the playoffs. But one of those 2 wins came against the Los Angeles Rams, 31-28, back on Thanksgiving weekend, November the 30th. One of the better games they played down the stretch. One of the better games for one Tataroa McMillan. He had a big day that day for the he didn't have a big day. He had a big catch, I should say. He only had 1 catch in that game, but it was a 43-yard touchdown reception. Finished the year with 7 touchdown catches. I'll have to go back and look. We had I don't think I have it here, but I'll be able to find it before the end of the game. We had a prop on T-Mac's season. We'll have to see if we hit that prop that we had on T-Mac to begin the year. In fact, I'll tally up all of our NFL props that we had from the BetMGM network days, which does not exist anymore, but it is still sponsored by BetMGM because, of course, BetMGM still exists. There's just not a network anymore. We'll be giving you our BetMGM, where Westwood One Sports BetMGM Play of the Day coming up a little bit later in the show. Again, Panthers football will be on KTUC Freedom 1400. Join in progress after Arizona women's basketball coming up on Saturday as they take on the Rams. Big season. Most catches, or most yards ever by a rookie receiver for the Carolina Panthers, Tataroa McMillan. And this isn't, and we'll ask Anish this when we talk to him. I mean, he was able to break that record despite the fact that there were a bunch of games where he had, like I mentioned, 1 catch against the Rams, 1 catch for 43 yards. He had a number of those games down the stretch where he only had 1 catch, 2 catches, that kind of thing. You would hope that maybe they'll start to get him the ball a little bit more. He still had over 1,000 yards receiving this season to become the most prolific rookie pass catcher in the history of that franchise. So we'll see what happens. 8-9, but hosting what many people believe to be the best team in the NFC, the Los Angeles Rams. So we'll see how that all plays out on Saturday as we begin Super Wildcard Weekend. Which of the games are you most excited about? 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. Does it involve one of your favorite teams? Of course, my favorite team's not in it. They fired their coach again. I mean, how many times do we have to fire our coach before we get this thing right?
Seems like only the Steelers know what they're doing.
Yeah, I mean, they've had that. I think Tomlin was already the longest tenured head
coach.
But
in the history of their franchise, like they've had 7
coaches,
right? I mean, I'm saying, like, I know it's a very, very, very low number.
They are the model of stability.
Yeah,
and I've said that for years.
They're that franchise that lets their coach have a bad season and doesn't axe them instantly.
Yeah. It's something to see, for sure. It's something to see when you can have that type of stability. There's a lot of teams with instability. The Cardinals are looking for a new coach. I saw one report that said the Cardinals job is the worst open job on the market right now. Worse than the Browns, which I was shocked to see. The Browns and the Cardinals and the Raiders are said to be the 3 worst jobs open of the open jobs right now.
I mean, say what you want about the Browns' recent history, but as far as name recognition goes, like there's no doubt that the Browns are a better destination as a head coach than the Cardinals, just because, I mean, outside of a couple of grocery checker seasons, right? I mean, other than that, there just isn't a lot you can point to.
Maybe we're looking for a question of the day. Maybe I'll put that. That'll be our question of the day, which I'll give you, because I think there's 6 jobs open.
Ravens is the answer.
Well,
we haven't talked about that. I mean, we talked about the missed field goal, but on Monday, but we haven't talked about Coach Harbaugh being fired.
Yeah, if I have to leave off two teams in terms of worst job opening, I would probably leave off the Ravens because they've got some pieces there.
Yeah,
and they've got
that's
a
the best
quarterback.
job. That's
And
what
the
I meant.
Falcons, I think, have some pieces, obviously, with Bijan and some others. So those would be two I would leave off the list. But the Browns, the Cardinals, the Raiders, and maybe the Titans, I'll put them on the list of maybe those will be the four that make. We're only allowed 4 choices. So maybe those will be the 4 we put on the list and make that a question of the day of what is the worst NFL job opening right now.
I can answer your poll question.
Yeah.
I am interested to see what T-Mac does in the playoffs. So, I mean, I'll definitely be watching, in addition to watching U of A basketball,
okay.
I'll be watching that Rams-Panthers
There you
game.
go. Right after you get done with us, you can turn it on.
I have multiple televisions at home, so I'll be able to watch both.
Speaking of the Panthers, let's give you your Panthers report for today.
This Panther Update is brought to you by UNC Charlotte.
It's playoff time for the Panthers, and they're hosting a familiar foe in their wild card matchup. I'm Sharon Thorson with the Panthers Update after this.
Charlotte's momentum has a name, UNC Charlotte, 32,000 students strong, ranked among the nation's top 75 public universities, recognized at the highest level for research, unmatched access to Fortune 500 companies, built for a top-tier city. This isn't typical higher ed. The difference is scale. The difference is momentum. The difference is Charlotte, UNC Charlotte.
The Panthers will host a playoff game for the first time in 10 seasons when they take on the LA Rams Saturday at Bank of America Stadium. It's the same Rams team they beat back in Week 13, one that boasts the NFL's most potent offense, averaging over 394 yards and 30 points a game. That's one reason they're a 10-point favorite, but Panthers safety Nick Scott says that doesn't mean a thing.
I don't look at point spreads. Not too many guys in this locker room do. That has nothing to do with what happens when the pads come on. Every matchup is a fair matchup in the NFL. Everybody's extremely talented, and everybody's ready to go.
Scott and the defense forced Rams quarterback Matt Stafford into a pair of interceptions and a fumble in that game, and now they'll get several key starters back for this game. Cornerback Mike Jackson says that's huge.
It helps a lot because now we got all our guys back, so we have a chance to go do something special. I know they're going to have all their guys back too, so we just got to show it ready to play.
No doubt everyone will be ready to play, and guys who have been in the playoffs before are making sure everyone knows what's at stake, says offensive lineman Austin Corbett.
Everything you do from this moment on is to etch your name in football history forever. If you win a Super Bowl, you're a part of this league forever.
I'm Sharon Thorson on the Panthers Radio Network.
This Panther Update has been brought to you by UNC Charlotte, built for a top-tier city. The difference is Charlotte, UNC Charlotte.
And we have got football tonight. It is one of the first of the 2 semifinals in college football this evening. It is the Miami Hurricanes, the 10th seed, and the Mississippi Rebels in the Fiesta Bowl. So football here in the state of Arizona tonight. The Miami Hurricanes are a 3-point favorite right now with an over and under of 52.5. Mississippi plus 136 on the money line tonight. If you got thoughts on that, who you would like to see win that game, 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. A lot of folks are getting behind Ole Miss because they got jilted by their head coach, Lane Kiffin, and they've been able to come out and win their first 2 playoff games. A lot of folks jumping behind Miami. The old alums were down on the sideline going crazy last week as they upset the reigning national champion Ohio State Buckeyes. Michael Irvin and Ray Lewis were down there. Michael Irvin was swinging a belt on some Buckeye thing that they had on the sideline, whipping it. It was crazy stuff out there. So give us your thoughts on who you think is going to win tonight. I've never lived in Miami. I was obviously, you kind of watched the Hurricanes back in the day when they became good in the 1980s. They were, a team that a lot of people watched and paid attention to. The U became popular with all those players they had, Michael Irvin and such, that put that university.
You missed the pronounced boosters. All the boosters they had, not the players, the boosters.
The boosters, yeah. That too. There was a lot of money floating around. Again,
they were way ahead of the curve.
So I'm glad you said that. So that's why, and maybe it's a different kind of money floating around in Miami than you have in Phoenix, But to me, there's just as much money in Phoenix as there is in Miami. So why hasn't Arizona State been consistently good? This is a question I've asked forever, ever since I moved here 18 years ago now. All that money they got up there, you would think that people would be pushing that money into their university like the folks in Miami are pushing into the Hurricane program. Now, granted, the Hurricanes have had some down years. This is really, they haven't, they got to, 2004, I think they got to the national championship game where they lost that game to Ohio State late. So there's been some down years in that mix, and now Mario Cristobal's there, and he's got this thing moving again in the right direction. But there was a lot of money, Miami money, in the 80s and 90s floating into that program. You had who's the rapper that was down there? He was a part of the program. I can't remember his name right now.
You mean Rick Ross?
No, it wasn't Rick Ross.
You mean Pitbull?
Pitbull? No, it wasn't.
You mean
Pitbull.
Flo Rida?
Was not.
You mean DJ Khaled?
Rider? No, Miami rapper 1980s. Let me look that up right now. I know. What was his name?
By the way, it is the Verbo Fiesta Bowl.
Verbo. Is it Verbo or Verbo?
It's one of the two.
Okay. I refer to it as Verbo.
It is the Verbo Fiesta Bowl.
Okay.
Up in Phoenix tonight.
So we stay. Luther Campbell.
I don't know if we're allowed to talk about them on the
Uncle
radio.
Luke.
Very controversial.
Uncle Luke. Yeah, he was the guy. 2 Live Crew.
Yep.
2 Live Crew.
I remember.
Maybe that's the problem.
I was in junior high.
Maybe
when
that's
those
the problem. There's no
came
rap
out.
groups coming out of Phoenix. There were no rap groups coming out of Phoenix in the 1980s to spread money around to the Sun Devils.
I was going to say no TV shows about, detectives driving fancy convertibles. 'Cause
Yeah.
Miami Vice was 83, 83, 84 is when that debuted.
Exactly.
And it feels like The U hit hard like right around that same time.
Yeah. But again, it's interesting you brought that up because again, and I've said this before, when I was in high school, which was 82 to 85, there was a large section of kids who were transfixed with the thought of going to ASU. ASU was a very popular school to Midwest kids at that particular time. It was probably because I talk about it all the time from the standpoint that when I was getting information about where to go to school, ASU kept coming up, and people would talk about, oh, you got to go to Arizona. The weather's great there, especially if you live in the Midwest where it's cold. It's like, oh, you want to go there. The weather's great. The women are beautiful. Everything. So there was a similar aura, I think, and if that's the way my remembrance is a teenager in the 1980s of life in Tempe. So, but it never translated to the athletic field during that time, like say maybe in Miami.
Well, the question you literally just asked is how come they couldn't replace Frank Kush? Right? Because he retired in the late 70s. And that's the big question, is that if you have a program-defining coach who basically, builds your program from scraps into a national name, can you follow that up with another coach? And I don't remember them having nearly as much success in those early 80s, like you mentioned. So there's that period of we got to go out to Phoenix and got to go to that good weather. But the other part of that is Frank Kush was 176-54. 176-54 was his record as a head coach in college football. So they had so much success.
And there's no beach in Phoenix either. I think that was probably part of it.
Yeah, I've always described Phoenix as Los Angeles without the beach.
Got to have water. Got to have fancy hotels, that kind of thing. You got to have some boats. You can't really make videos in Phoenix because there's really nowhere. There was no Tempe Town Lake at that particular time, I would think, in the 80s. So where are you gonna put your boats?
I mean, since you're invoking the name of 2 Live Crew, like what are the size of the bikinis in Phoenix is the real question.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
that's a big part of it too.
Right, yeah. You didn't have well, we won't go there. You didn't have a lot of those. Didn't have a lot of those types of ladies, I think, floating around.
South Beach is crazy, man.
South Beach style women, for sure. All right, 520-848-12. Now, we've way blown past this break. So let's get out of here. We'll come back. We'll talk some Suns in the 4 o'clock hour. Dairo's Jordan will join us as well. The Suns are playing extremely well. DK on the Sports Tip. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the Auto Nation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. Pima Mine Road and I-19, crash there, Pima Mine Road at I-19. Possible collision near Catalina High Magnet School, Pima near Dodge on Pima to the west of Dodge Boulevard. We've got backups at Grant and Alvernon, road work there, and also slowing for traffic on Swan at Grant. Weather-wise, chance of rain into the evening. There is a freeze warning in effect through Saturday morning. 35 our overnight low. Sunny and 54 tomorrow. 56 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together.
This report is sponsored by Allstate. Some people just know you can save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Those people are probably saving a carload of cash right now. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Discover luxury at BMW of Tucson, your premier BMW dealership. Explore our extensive inventory, lease specials, and state-of-the-art service. Visit us at the Tucson Auto Mall or at bmwoftucson.com today.
Welcome back to Winter Hack Radio, the place for clever hacks to survive the season. Icy driveway? Well, try spreading sand or birdseed to help with traction. Snowy puppy paws? Well, grab a whisk, brush it off, done. Catch COVID-19? Well, just get...
Actually, there's no hack for COVID-19. But if you test positive, prescription medications for COVID exist. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Meet Lee Platts, a renter whose possessions fill not only her apartment, but also the darkest corners of a mini storage unit. A land of both truth and fiction. Truth, everything inside is protected by Progressive. Fiction, one day Lee will fit into her clothes from senior year of high school. Renters, discover coverage for what you love and what you can't get rid of in Progressive's Protection Zone. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers.
My heat and air were in a state of disrepair.
As the new year begins, Picturox Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing would like to thank you for allowing us to serve Tucson and the surrounding communities for the past 25 years. Whether it is a small water leak or a full air conditioning replacement, we do it all, big or small. For professional service, call Picturox Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing at 520-492-0748 or make your appointment online at picturoxcooling.com.
Picturox Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing.
Looking for quality windows without the wait? Come to the Window Depot. We carry a huge selection of Milgard windows, in stock now and ready for pickup. Need something custom? No problem. From new construction to full home replacement, we'll help you order the perfect Milgard windows built to fit your space, style, and budget. Whether you're a homeowner or contractor, the Window Depot makes it easy to get the windows you need fast. Visit thewindowdepot.com to find a location near you and see why we're your Milgard window experts.
This new year, get started on your next success with University of Maryland Global Campus. Apply by February 11th and get your application fee waived. An accredited state university, UMGC offers online and hybrid classes, along with more than 135 degrees and certificates in fields like business, cybersecurity, healthcare, and more. Gain the skills you need to achieve your career goals. Get your application fee waived through February 11th. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chef.
Everyone loves a backyard barbecue, but who has the time? I'm Josh Bishop, owner of Fork and Fire in Oro Valley and Catalina. My brother, best friend, and I have been cooking for one another and our neighbors for years, and we still get to live our passion every day at Fork and Fire. In Oro Valley, you'll discover bold, smoky brisket, ribs, pulled pork, and many creative dishes, paired with local craft beers on tap and specialty cocktails. Fork and Fire, your neighborhood backyard barbecue, where great food meets good times and strong community. Join us today at Fork and Fire, Oro Valley, and in Catalina.
Hey, man. Yeah, it's me, your furnace, man. Hey, can I get a light here, man? I know we live in Arizona, so I understand I'm not, like as cool as your air conditioner. But I still need a tune-up at least once a year, man. So get the best in town, man. Goodfellas AC, bro. Hey, anybody smell that, man? I swear it wasn't me. Okay, it was me.
Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. GoodfellasAC.com.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus Media Station. The Wildcats Radio 1290 studios are brought to you by ICCU at ICCU.com. We are your home for Arizona athletics. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Last night, Arizona basketball made 3 3-point shots. Meanwhile, down in Memphis, Tennessee, on the NBA level, the Phoenix Suns made 22 3-point shots. Let's hear some of those.
Royce O'Neal and Mark Williams, the 5 for Jordan Ott, his first season as an NBA head coach. He's given a lot of freedom to his players, and they have responded well, winning 6 of their last 8. Grayson Allen over Spencer for 3. Jemai Meshack was called up from the Memphis Hustle. He is available, but has not seen the floor tonight. Gillespie laces the 18th triple of the game for Phoenix. Royce O'Neal for 3.
Here tonight have been fantastic. The reason why they've been able to get these threes to go down the way that they have.
Against the shot clock, Rasheer Fleming for 3. The 21st 3-point make by Phoenix tonight. 10 more than the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies held to fewer than 100. And the Phoenix Suns, it's the 5th time they will hold the team to fewer than 100. Your final here in Memphis, 117-98.
Well, now, we could talk about, and we will, the 22 made threes, but I think what the announcer, and that was the, clearly that was the Grizzlies television.
They were very excited about those 3-pointers being made. What are you talking about?
That was the Grizzlies. I know some of those guys on that broadcast. From my time down there, another one of my many hometowns. But I think I want to talk about what he said there at the end.
Yeah,
J-Dub, holding a team to 98 points, and that has become a theme for this Phoenix Suns team that is now 22-15. How many times last year were we talking about the Suns giving up 130 plus points in games, and now they're consistently holding teams under 100 points?
So this is the Jordan Ott factor. He obviously made it in his debut press conference. DK talked a lot about how he was going to ramp up the defensive pressure, try to get in passing lanes to turn that into instant offense. What I can tell you is last year, through 82 games, Phoenix Suns were 22nd in the NBA in points allowed. This year, they are 6th in the NBA currently. So only Oklahoma City, Boston, Houston, Detroit, and Toronto give up fewer points on average. So, I mean, it's so key when you talk about what it takes to win games in any professional league. But in the NBA, if you can't stop teams, everybody can score. Every single team, even the worst teams in the NBA, can score. So if you can't get stops, at least stops when it really matters, it's almost impossible to play winning basketball. And the Suns right now, I'm, again, surprised at where they are in the standings, especially without Jalen Green in the lineup. But it's clearly due to the coaching and clearly due to their concerted effort to really ramp up the defensive pressure, getting a lot of steals. Obviously, Gillespie's a big part of that. But, yeah, right now, it doesn't sound like a good number, but they're only giving up 112 points a game. And no team in the NBA is giving up under 100. Last year, OKC flirted with that. But currently, the Thunder are the best team in the NBA, DK. They give up 108 points a game. So it's a scorer's league these days. The refs let the offensive players have all the freedom. But, yeah, right now, it's really the defense. And you got to point towards Dylan Brooks because he's a big part of that defensive intensity. He always brings that energy and effort and hustle. It's contagious. We always talk about that cliche. But when you have a guy next to you, shoulder to shoulder, and it's Dylan Brooks, DK, it's kind of hard not to give that extra defensive attention. And especially going back to Memphis, which obviously is where he started his career for his first 6 years, along with Grayson Allen as well.
Now, again, this is a team, and I will say the defense has gotten better of late. Now, at the beginning of the season, at times there were some struggles along those lines. You look at some of the teams that they did give up a lot of points to, some of the better teams in the league. Denver got 133 early in the season. Golden State got 118. You got 100. Houston got 114. Oklahoma City 123. Denver 130. Oklahoma City again 138. Cleveland got the few last weekend when they were in Cleveland. They got 129. So the games where they have given up a lot of points, they've given up those points to some of the best teams in the National Basketball Association. But I don't think anybody had right now on January 8th the Phoenix Suns being 2 games out of first place in the Pacific Division, 2 games behind the Lakers in the Pacific Division after that win right now, and still kind of sitting
30-31.
Yeah.
Was the preseason expectation for win totals. They've got 22 and 15 so far.
Yeah, 22 and 15, and they're currently in the play-in round as they're holding that 7th spot. They're 3 games back of Houston in the loss column.
Have a chance to gander at that box score from last night?
I didn't really look at it.
If you
closely.
did, you might have seen a player playing for Memphis that you're surprised to see, and that would be one Christian Koloko, who got let go by the Lakers about a month ago, and he got picked up right away by Memphis. I hadn't really been tracking this, but I looked at it. DK, here's his minutes totals for the last 10 games: 28, 25, 20, 22, 13, 18, 20. So even though, the Grizzlies are struggling, they're not quite what they were a couple years back. Great to see Christian Koloko coming off that health scare when he was up in Toronto, getting a little bit of run with the Lakers, and now finding at least a temporary home there in Memphis, getting quite a lot of run. Another U of A note that came out today, by the way, Carter Bryant was sent to the G League. They want him to get a little more experience, get some shots up, get the traditional 30 minutes. It's not uncommon these days for high draft NBA draft picks who don't maybe have a spot in the rotation. It's a really loaded Spurs team right now to get a little bit extra experience and time. And we all remember Carter came into the U of A as a bit of a young freshman. So hopefully he'll get some shots up, get some experience, and get back up to the major club.
Koloko last night, 20 minutes, had 2 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, all 4 of his rebounds at the offensive end. So that's a nice showing there as he finds some playing time now with his third team.
We've always said, Christian Koloko, as far as his mobility, you talk about, Moteas Krivas earlier in the show being able to move his feet on the perimeter. That was what Christian Koloko was best at. People might remember him blocking shots, but what I always marveled at was his fluidity and moving his feet to stay in front of some of the quicker perimeter players. And in the modern NBA, DK, you have to have mobile bigs. It's all screen and roll. You get in that dunker spot and come off your man to block shots. But most importantly, everybody can shoot. So if you can't move your feet as a big to get out there and affect shots, then it's trouble. So I think Christian Koloko is the perfect measurables and athleticism for the modern NBA to be able to get out there and also protect the rim.
And of the 22 threes that the Suns shot in that game the other night, only one of them was made by Devin Booker. How about that? You had Dylan Brooks with 5. You had Grayson Allen off the bench with 5. You had Royce O'Neal with 4. But Book was just 1 for 5 for 13 points, and they won by well over 19. So that's pretty good showing when your best player maybe is not having to carry the load.
It should be noted that Grayson Allen, also, obviously coming off an injury, he was out for about a month. So this is only his second game back, kind of getting back in the rotation.
520-848-1290. We're going to talk some more Suns. Darryl Joyner going to join us in this hour. We'll get his perspective on where this team is after 42 games. So essentially, we're at the midway point. I'm sorry, that's my math. My U-High math failed me there. 37 games. So we're close to the midway point of the season. Please be joined by the third member of our program today. Cricket is back in the house. Cricket, first of all, yesterday was the worst winter day we've had this year.
Yeah. It's crazy, right?
Exactly. Now, of course, there's only 7 days so far. in this year. But what was it? Was it a main? Did people lose their minds trying to drive yesterday? What was it like? Were there a lot of accidents? I didn't really kind of follow it too closely from that perspective because I was hunkered down here. I was like, I'm not going outside.
If I didn't have to drive to and from work, I wouldn't have. It was not as bad as I thought it would be. I kind of predict maybe more stuff happening tomorrow because of like frosting. It's going to freeze tonight.
Yes,
and you know, like the windows.
30s overnight, I heard. Oh,
and like I think a lot of drivers, I don't know this, but we get so many crashes when the windows are frosted over. Like I think people might not completely de-ice there because we don't know how to do that. That only happens a few days a year. But I feel like, and I might be totally wrong, or it just works out that way. But when the windows are frosted over and people get up to go to work in the morning, I don't know if they clean off their windshield. Might not see that well, you know.
So let's play this game. Let's play what type of videos recently on Instagram have made you go down the rabbit hole? One for me was the videos of people living in cold climates throwing hot water on their cars to try to get the ice to melt and their windows cracking.
I don't think they're supposed to do that. And like,
no, they're not.
If you live in that climate, don't you know that?
You would think.
Like, I even know that.
You would think.
And
exactly.
I've lived here my whole life. I've never needed to do that.
Warm, people, warm.
Oh my gosh!
Not hot.
What? Are you? I have not seen
hot,
that.
Yeah, I spent like maybe it's 20 minutes of my life I can't get back.
Yeah.
Watching people pour hot water on their frozen windshields and their windshields just crack.
I know
and
better.
Their cars. Now again, and the other thing is you can't really trust everything you watch on the internet anymore because
you can. It's on the internet.
But yeah, it's even if these are fake AI videos, it's kind of funny to watch people do that and be astonished when their car cracks open.
What happened?
Common sense is not that common.
Exactly.
I think what it has to do with Tucson is I would estimate that 89.9% of all Tucsonans are transplants from a cold weather place, and they just forgot. They've been here too long. 2 years later, they don't have an ice scraper in their car anymore, and it's just like,
what do I do?
What do I do? My window's frosted up. I'm not sure what to do.
Is there anything that's made you go down the rabbit hole on Instagram lately?
I can't really think. I mean, I've been liking like art and craft videos
art
and
and crafts,
like below deck little snippets. Stuff like that. But I watch like the little short ones, like the reels or whatever.
Yeah.
But just kind of that stuff, whatever pops up, and you watch one video. And then you keep getting all those,
and all the rest of them come up.
So now they're trying to sell me arts and crafts and below deck T-shirts. I don't want that.
You don't want any merch? You don't want the below deck merch?
No.
I was going to get you a shirt for Christmas. And
below deck?
Yeah.
Oh, you're so nice.
I was going to get you one. I'll get you one. When's your birthday?
July.
All right. I'll make sure I put that down to get Cricket a below deck shirt so she can wear her favorite show proudly out in the community. All right.
Yeah.
She is getting you home on a much better weather day every 20 minutes on the fives.
And from the Auto Nation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio, 1290 traffic and weather together. Some slowdowns at Alvernon and Grant. We've got backups there. It travels down to one lane each direction. More slowing, Swan at Grant. Busy at Ajo and Mission, westbound and southbound. Collisions reported 6th Avenue south of I-10, northbound slowing, and a wreck Pima west of Dodge Boulevard. Chance of rain into the evening. A freeze warning in effect through Saturday morning. 35 our overnight low. Sunny 54 tomorrow and 55 now. And I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Aleve. Life doesn't wait, and neither should you. Aleve can help you deal with pain less throughout your day. With just one pill, Aleve lasts up to 12 hours. Don't let those aches and pains hold you back from doing what's important to you. Use as directed.
Oh, how's that flu, babe? Did you take DayQuil Intense Flu yet?
Nah, I got this. Ugh, okay, I don't got this.
You stay on the couch, and I'll grab the DayQuil.
Undo your flu symptoms with DayQuil Intense Flu. DayQuil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms.
I'm ready for that to-do list.
Wow, you do got this.
DayQuil Intense Flu. The daytime coughing, aching, fever, under your flu medicine. Use as directed, keep out of reach of children.
Here's a tale of Tina, searching up and down for decent GLP-1s, but got spun around.
Till GoodRx wrote in, hey, we got something new. GLP-1 prescriptions, all FDA approved.
Brand name meds, no flags that are red.
Clear pricing from the start. None of those hidden fees in your cart.
Delivered to your door or pick up same day. Darn tootin'.
Save time and money on prescriptions.
Hotfoot it to GoodRx.com/weight loss. GoodRx is not insurance.
What's that song that goes ba-da-da-da-da-da-da?
You mean la-di-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee?
No, he's talking about bum, 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 bum.
No, that's not it.
All right, guys, we don't have time for this. Furnaces are breaking down, and we promise we'll be there in one day.
That's it.
With Alaskan AC service guarantee, we'll arrive in one day or your repair is free.
Oh, that song.
One of my favorites. If you have a problem today, Alaskan AC will get to you within one day.
If we don't, the whole repair is free.
No matter how much.
So good, people are singing about it.
With Alaskan AC service guarantee, we'll arrive in one day or your repair is free.
Reminds me of that other song that goes boom, chicka boom, chicka boom.
I've never heard that.
Well, you're not as cultured as me.
You have about as much culture as a bowl of yogurt.
With Alaskan AC service guarantee, we'll arrive in one day or your repair is free.
AlaskanAC.com.
Hey, Eugene, what's with the giant pile of scratcher tickets?
Just my next greatest idea ever.
Playing the lottery?
That's right, Doug. With all my winnings, I can enroll in the UberTube car repair classes and finally fix your car right. No more disasters, Doug. Your luck is about to change.
Well, then keep on scratching, Eugene.
Good luck, Eugene. But if you need a sure thing for your next set of tires or automotive repair, check out Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. With more than 35 Top Shop awards and our Partners Network 3-year nationwide warranty, you can count on Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care.
And check out this month's special savings.
You'll find an entire page of them online at jackfurriers.com. Savings on tires, oil changes, batteries, wheel alignments, and more.
So call ahead, make an appointment online, or just stop by any of our 14 area locations.
Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Since 1960, here to get you there.
Wildcat fans, where do you go when the final buzzer sounds? You don't head home. You head to Roadhouse Cinemas and Roadies, Tucson's home court for great food, craft beer, and nonstop fun. At Roadies, you can bowl, throw an axe, play arcade games, or grab a burger while the next game plays on the massive screens. Then, catch the newest movies right next door at Roadhouse Cinemas with luxury recliners and full in-seat dining. Game days, movie nights, anytime. Make it a win at Roadhouse Cinemas and Roadies on the corner of Grant and Swan.
Hey, man. It's me, your furnace, man. Hey, can I get a light here, man? I know we live in Arizona, so I understand I'm not, like as cool as your air conditioner. But I still need a tune-up at least once a year, man. So get the best in town, man. Goodfellas AC, bro. Hey, anybody smell that, man? I swear it wasn't me. Okay, it was me.
Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. GoodfellasAC.com.
Average doesn't grow your business. Smart Strategy does. Cumulus digital campaigns outperform industry benchmarks by over 25%. You're not average, and your results shouldn't be either. Visit cumulusdigital.com today to leave average behind.
I'm Bridget Condon with NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network. The Buccaneers will not be joining the head coaching search this offseason. Todd Bowles said he will return to Tampa for the 2026 season. Bowles has been the head coach since 2022 and won 3 NFC South titles. Chargers head coach Jim Harbaugh commented on the Ravens firing his brother John Harbaugh after 18 seasons this week. Jim said that John is, quote, the best coach I've ever seen, but hopes the next team he coaches is in the NFC. The Ravens are in full swing finding Harbaugh's replacement. Seahawks offensive coordinator Clint Kubiak and Dolphins defensive coordinator Anthony Weaver will interview for the position. The Giants also have some high-profile names interviewing for their head coaching spot. Mike McCarthy and Raheem Morris are among several that will interview, and Kevin Stefanski already met with the team on Wednesday. Meanwhile, the Chiefs offensive coordinator Matt Nagy will interview with the Cardinals, Raiders, and Titans. This has been NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network.
Want to make 2026 your year of adventure? Book that trip and learn a new language with Babbel. Go ahead, make a resolution you can stick to. Now is the time. Babbel's New Year sale is here. Unlock all of the languages on Babbel with a lifetime subscription for 65% off. Turn your daydream into a destination this year with Babbel. Get Babbel's lifetime access for less at Babbel.com. That's BABBEL.com. Babbel.com.
1 in 4 Americans have a disability. I'm one of them. I'm also a working mom who cares deeply about making sure every child with a disability thrives by getting their access needs met. We've got a trusted ally by our side. Easter Seals provides children and families the foundation for lifelong success through early learning programs, skills training, and prep for college and career. That's my Easter Seals. Make it yours. Join us at easterseals.com.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. Call us, text us at that number. We were talking Phoenix Suns in the last segment. Another win last night on the road over the Memphis Grizzlies, 117-98. Nobody, I don't think anybody, had this team 2 games out in the Pacific Division on January 8th. Maybe not even this guy that joins us now who covers the Phoenix Suns. I like to refer to him as our 1290 Suns reporter in Phoenix. His name is Daryl Joyner. Daryl, did you have the Suns 2 games behind the Lakers for first place on January 8th back on October the 8th?
I wouldn't even guess it even today that they'd be in that situation, because this team has surprised a lot of people. And I must say, I think this team from top to bottom is a much better constructed team than the one that they had last year and the previous years with Kevin Durant and Bradley Beal. I believe one biggest, if not the biggest contributor to the changes, this is Dylan Brooks. I believe he brings a defensive stature to this team that was desperately needed. A little more attitude, a little more defense, a little more roughness, so to speak, that they're willing to get under the other team's skin and create some turnovers, create some more offense that they were not getting from the defense in the years of Kevin Durant. Because I looked at some of the stats over the past couple of days, and right now the Suns are averaging about 10.6 steals a game. That's pretty impressive. And if you can convert, even half of those into points, it helps your offensive output. Even though, you may not be one of the most offensive-oriented teams in the NBA right now. But again, from top to bottom, I think Dylan Brooks has added a lot to this team. And I must say, I give the Suns a lot of credit for making this deal to get him on the roster.
Well, and it's interesting you bring up the defensive side of that, obviously, because, the Suns, when they were in the middle of that run, there were some pretty good defenders on that team when you talk about guys like Mikal Bridges. But I think that the actual antithesis, Mikal Bridges was a really liked guy. People like Mikal Bridges. There's a ton of people that don't like Dylan Brooks, and my partner who I do football with here, Glenn Howe, is fond for saying sometimes you need that guy that people don't like versus that guy that people do like.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that. If you look at the history of the NBA, there've always been guys that would get under your skin. I remember when I was covering the Chicago Bulls, when Dennis Rodman played for the Detroit Pistons, everybody and their brother did not like Dennis Rodman because of his antics, because he was a pest, so to speak. But yet, when he ended up with the Chicago Bulls, that changed the entire dynamic and also the perception. And all of a sudden, he's one of our guys now. It's tough to play against those guys, but it's always good to have those guys on your team because they do a lot of the dirty work. A lot of the dirty work that you may not see in the stat line. Dylan Brooks, making other players frustrated on the opposite team. And again, I've been one that in the past that have looked at some of the antics that he's pulled, and I've questioned some of those antics. But now, with the Suns, I think he has added a new dimension and a new attitude that this team has, and I think it has all been for the best.
Dylan Brooks also scoring pretty well, averaging 21 points this season, second leading scorer on this team behind Devin Booker, who comes in at 26. You look at last night's game, Daryl, they made 22 three-point shots. We were talking in the segment before this. They made 22 three-point shots, and Devin Booker only made one of those 22 shots. You got to love a night where your main guy doesn't have to do all the heavy lifting, and you can still walk out of the building with an almost 20-point win.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Brooks, he can get you some points, but also I think you have to look at the way this team is constructed. Booker is not your main ball handler now, and I think in the past couple of years with KD here and them not having a true point guard has added a lot of extra pressure and a lot of actual yeoman's work for Booker that it may have affected his game to a certain extent. I think he's been freed up of that responsibility now. You've got the likes of a youngster, Colin Gillespie. This young man has been subbing as a starter for Jalen Green, who's been out pretty much the entire season. He came over in that Houston trade, but Colin Gillespie has added a lot of point guard responsibilities, and he's averaging 13 points a game, about 5 assists a game, and he's hitting 43% from the field. But the basic advantage of having him in the game, it takes the burden off of a Booker, and also it creates a lot more spacing for this team to hit open shots. Gillespie, as you've seen, can penetrate. You get the double team inside, and then he kicks it out to a Royce O'Neal or to a Devin Booker or to a Dylan Gabriel or for, a three-point shot. And again, that has to be much of their ball game, taking those threes in this day and age of the NBA style. You have to be a lot more confident in that area. And I think Gillespie has added a lot of stability to that offense.
We're chatting with Daryl Joyner, our 1290 Suns reporter. Suns 22-15 on the season after 37 games, nearing the midway point of the season and just 2 games behind the Lakers for first place in the Pacific Division. 7th seed right now, so currently still in that play-in bracket in the Western Conference of the NBA. You mentioned Colin Gillespie. You mentioned, obviously, he's gotten a lot more run with Jalen Green being out, who missed the first part of the year, came back, played a couple of games, reactivated the injury. What's the latest on when the Suns could get Jalen Green back?
Well, he's been suffering from that hamstring injury, and he continues to nurse his way back to health. The word is that he is almost 100%, if not 100%, but they want to take this thing easy. I think they'd rather have him for that playoff stretch run or the playoffs than to bring him back too early. And as of earlier this week, it was the coach came out and stated that they're shooting for the January 17th game versus the Knicks. That's when they're expecting to have him back in for his full glory. But as you all know, hamstring injuries are very tricky, man. You can come back and be 95 to 100%, and it's still, and this may sound weird, it's still subjected to having a tweak or re-aggravating that injury because the hamstring is such a very a touchy area in which, a slight, bend here or twist there or the wrong angle you're taking going up for a layup or even a jump shot, you come down the wrong way and you re-aggravate that injury. And that is very aggravating considering this young man was brought over in the Houston trade, and they thought that, he would add a lot in the backcourt with Devin Booker. But the one good thing about this injury, if there is a silver lining, is that Colin Gillespie has gotten a lot of good run, and this young man has proven, even though he was not highly touted as a top NBA prospect, he's come in, he's kept his head down, and he's provided a great substitute for the Suns. And he's also getting a lot of good experience, which will be desperately needed for the Suns when they make that run for the playoffs. And if they do make the playoffs, he will be a vital key for that team.
You mentioned trades. Another trade that this team made over the summer was the deal with the Hornets to bring in Mark Williams at that center position. He's had some injury issues in the past, only played in 19 games 2 years ago, 41 last year, but projecting obviously to make his most starts and playing his most games of his career. What's been the early assessment of this deal and what he could potentially be for the Suns moving forward?
I think the deal is a great deal for them because he's a very versatile center that can run the floor. He's got really good hands. He's good around the basket. And I think he brings a lot of versatility to that area that they've been desperately needing. He got into a little scrap about a week ago, if I'm not mistaken. And he set his game out.
Dylan Brooks is wearing off on him.
I think Dylan Brooks is wearing off on a lot of people, but in a good way. Again, this team needs a little roughness around the edges to be a little defensive minded. And I think Williams has been a good addition, and also you can now continue to bring Grayson Allen off the bench. And, it's good to have these guys in their relegated roles. I mean, a lot of these guys have been playing out of position the past couple of years. But I think, they've got a nice foundation now. And there has been some talk. Now, I don't know how true this is as far as if the Suns would be eligible to listening to anyone, but the trade deadline is February 5th. And there's some talk around the Suns that the Lakers may be interested in Dillon Brooks for Mr. Austin Reeves. But the owner has come out and said, don't even pick up the phone as far as the Suns are concerned, because we're not interested in dealing Brooks. He's with this team. He's not going anywhere. And so I don't think that would be a wise move. You've got a pretty good setup right now. These players are, I think they've come together a lot sooner than a lot of people would have given them credit for, considering that a lot of new players have come on and they pretty much have gelled and gotten to know each other pretty quickly this season. So I don't see anything rocking the apple cart as far as making any trades. But who knows? I'm just saying, based upon what I've seen and heard, they look pretty stable right now, and I think they're looking to progress with the young players and get a foundation and do this thing the slow and arduous way as far as building a championship team.
I got to bring in my in-house GM, J.W. Madden. J.W. Madden, would you take Austin Reeves instead of Dillon Brooks on your roster? What do you think on that?
Well, it just depends on the roster. I think there's redundancy there with the Suns because, I mean, when they tried the experiment with Beal, he wasn't, completely healthy during his time up there in Phoenix. But if you think about what Devin Booker does, Grayson Allen, I mean, Reeves is a very, very good young player. Maybe the best undrafted player ever, guys. But I don't think I would because of what Dyrell just said. I mean, Dillon Brooks came in 22nd last year were the Suns in points given up per game. This year, they're 6th in the NBA in points given up per game. Dillon Brooks has a lot to do with that. So, between the change in center and their personnel changes and the way Coach Ott is treating it, I'm not sure I would change anything right now because we're only, 35 games into a season where the coaching staff is trying to instill a new style. I like the pressure defense. I like the winning by committee and all those different guys. I don't think they blew up a team that went to the finals to get some superstars into Phoenix. That didn't work out so great the last couple of years. I think you just keep rolling with what you got.
And we have go ahead, Daryl.
No, it's a good point he made because, they are one of the higher-ranked defensive teams in the league. I think they're giving up around 110, 112 points a game. But, again, I attribute that to Brooks. And you also have to look at your fan base. You can't continue blowing up a team every year or every 2 or 3 years. You've got to have some stability, and I think they have that right now. And I think they've done a great job considering what a couple of years ago they had very few draft picks, and the outlook for this team wasn't that rosy. And I think they made some moves to get back into contention in the Western Conference. I will say this: they're one of the more competitive teams in the Western Conference, considering where many have thought this team would be at this time of the year. And I give them credit for, coming together relatively quickly here. And I think, if they, stay the course, it's a good possibility they will make the playoffs. And it's a good start for the first year of this team being together.
Yeah, and we haven't even discussed Daryl real quick here, the new head coach, Jordan Ott. What stands out about the kind of coach he's going to be in his first 37 games?
I think he's done a great job of allowing these players to be themselves and also allowing the offense to flow with a point guard at the helm. I think he's brought a lot of new ideas into this team. If you look at the past coaches for these teams, they came in here with NBA championship credentials, but it was very hard to come to a team and lead a team the way that team was constructed. You had a lot of players that were very established in their own ways and accustomed to doing things, and it was just a bad mix of players. And at some point in the last two coaches, the players just turned off the voice of the coaches probably midway through the season in both cases. But I think you bring in a fresh face like Ott, and he's dealing with a lot of younger players. And also, I forgot to mention the young man, Jordan Goodwin. He comprises of that newfound bench that they have. And this young man, averaging about 13 points a game, he brings a lot of energy to the game. And in the win over Kansas City, OKC, he came in. OKC came in and he had 26 points.
Yeah.
And he had 8 3-pointers. So this young man has established himself on that bench, and the bench now is expanded, and it's much more deep and deeper than the ones that the Suns have had in the previous couple of years.
Yeah, good to see Jordan Goodwin, second time back now with this Suns ball club and playing extremely well.
DK, I think that every Phoenix Sun fan should be rooting for their new head coach, Jordan Ott. And I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
Jeff Hornacek, Earl Watson, Igor Kokoskov, Monty Williams, Frank Vogel, Mike Budenholzer, and now 8 coaches for Devin Booker in 11 seasons. I think stability would do that franchise some good.
That's a great point. Yep, you're right.
There you go. Hey, Daryl, appreciate you as always. We'll look forward to chatting with you again, hopefully when the Suns ascend to first place.
Exactly. And tonight, we're all going to check out the Fiesta Bowl, which is happening right here in Phoenix.
Oh, that's right. Are you going?
No, I'm going to watch it from the palatial estate of Larson and Joyner tonight.
There you go. Who do you got? Who you got today?
I would love to see Miami because I love the little entourage and quote unquote pageantry that comes with Miami's fan base.
That is true. It's nothing more fun than watching Ray Lewis and Michael Irvin jump around like kids.
Exactly. So that's what I look forward to.
Awesome. Enjoy the game tonight, Daryl. Thanks again.
All right, thanks, man.
Daryl Joyner, our Suns reporter, giving you everything you need to know about what's happening up on Planet Orange. Cricket has everything you need to know about getting home or getting to your favorite high school basketball game tonight. She's got traffic and weather every 20 minutes on the 5.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. Some slowdowns, Ajo and Mission, southbound and westbound. More slowing on southbound La Cholla, approaching Ajo Way. Collisions that are reported, working wrecks, Swan and Camp Lowell and Swan, that might be off on private property. 6th Avenue south of I-10, northbound slowing on 6th Avenue approaching I-10, and also Pima west of Dodge Boulevard. And for your weather, chance of rain into the evening. There's a freeze warning in effect through Saturday morning. 35 our overnight low, sunny 54 tomorrow, and a 54 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Mattress Firm. The once-a-year sale and clearance is here. Upgrade today with Mattress Firm's quality selection of top brands. Let their sleep experts find the perfect bed to help transform your nights. They make sleep easy.
Celebrate Happy Honda Days at AutoNation Honda Tucson. Save up to $7,500 on pilots, leases starting at $399 a month, and enjoy incredible rates on 2025 and 2026 models. Visit us off Wetmore and Automall Drive today.
Welcome back to Winter Hack Radio, the place for clever hacks to survive the season. Icy driveway? Well, try spreading sand or birdseed to help with traction. Snowy puppy paws? Well, grab a whisk, brush it off, done. Catch COVID-19? Well, just get...
Actually, there's no hack for COVID-19. But if you test positive, prescription medications for COVID exist. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Progressive presents Employee of the Month. Small Business Edition. Today's recipient from Terry's Tiny Homes, Terry! Sure, as the only employee of her company, Terry was probably the front runner, but saving money getting personalized discounts with a commercial auto quote from Progressive, well, that gave Terry the edge. Over Terry.
Terry!
Keep awkwardly chanting your own name, Terry. You deserve it. Woo! Be your own Terry. See if you could save in as little as 8 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
Hey, man. It's me, your furnace, man. Hey, can I get a light here, man? I know we live in Arizona, so I understand I'm not, like as cool as your air conditioner. But I still need a tune-up at least once a year, man. So get the best in town, man. Goodfellas AC, bro. Hey, anybody smell that, man? I swear it wasn't me. Okay, it was me.
Good service, good prices, good fellas. GoodfellasAC.com.
Every day is a balancing act, with work, family, goals, all asking for more. It helps to have tools that meet you at every step and a team that will always be by your side. We're ICCU. We're a credit union that has been helping members achieve financial success since 1940. In fact, we put member success first, one by one, year after year, for 85 years and counting. Now, we're here for you, Tucson. Join us, ICCU.
You know it. Your neighbors know it. And let's face it, the mailman knows it too. Your yard just isn't what it used to be. But thankfully, Dorado Rock Materials can get you, well, your yard anyway, back to what it once was. And even better. Dorado Rock Materials has just what your yard needs, from decorative rock to boulders and everything in between, brought right to you. And if you need help spreading it, we can help with that too. Dorado Rock Materials. The right service, the right product, the right price.
If you could rewind 10 years, what would you do differently? Buy Apple stock at $20? Skip the Ghost Pepper Challenge? Maybe even rethink the skinny jeans. Nate here, owner of Blue Sky Pest Control. Some regrets are harmless, termite damage isn't. You can't go back in time, but you can keep termites from eating your future. Call Blue Sky Pest Control today for your free termite inspection. Hello, Blue Sky. Goodbye, pests.
What's that song that goes ba-da-da-da-da-da?
You mean la-di-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee? No, he's talking about bum, 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 bum.
No, that's not it.
All right, guys, we don't have time for this. Furnaces are breaking down, and we promise we'll be there in one day.
That's it.
With Alaskan AC service guarantee, we'll arrive in one day or your repair is free.
Oh, that song. One of my favorites. If you have a problem today, Alaskan AC will get to you within one day. If we don't, the whole repair is free.
No matter how much.
So good, people are singing about it.
With Alaskan AC service guarantee, we'll arrive in one day or your repair is free.
Reminds me of another song that goes boom, chicka boom, chicka boom, chicka boom.
I've never heard that.
Well, you're not as cultured as me.
You have about as much culture as a bowl of yogurt.
With Alaskan AC service guarantee, we'll arrive in one day or your repair is free.
AlaskanAC.com.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. Our buddy Daryl Joyner mentioned the Fiesta Bowl tonight. Miami of Florida. I almost said Miami of Ohio. No. Miami of Florida against Ole Miss. Here, I got something for you. Now. You want to go back? Let's go back to the 80s right now. Let's go back to the 80s. Yeah. That's Luther right there, man. Luther and Two Live Crew back in the day when they was running that Hurricanes conglomerate down there in Miami. Indeed.
Very controversial.
They had some controversial music, that's for sure. You're not a good artist, I don't think, if you have something that doesn't fit.
Okay, you say that, but like the first album they put out was the most explicit album ever released to date.
Yeah.
When it came out.
Yeah. Were you listening to that back in the day, J-Dub?
I was, like I said, I was junior high, so obviously I was super aware of it. I didn't have that album. I had all the Public Enemy
band stuff like you couldn't get. Was he like that kind of dad? Like, I don't want you buying that.
I didn't live with my dad.
Oh, okay.
I had all the Public Enemy. I had all Run DMC. I had all the Beastie Boys albums, but Two Live Crew was just, it was kind of trashy. So you definitely not my style now.
520-848-1290, 520-848-1290.
Miami's kind of proud of its trashiness.
They are. Have you been to Miami? Have you been to South Beach? I said I went there for the 2005 National Championship game where USC blew out Oklahoma Spent about 3 days down on South Beach. I went down the day of the game and went to the game and then hung out for a few days after the game, just wearing my colors proudly down on the block. Good times back in the early part of this century. First time I'd ever been down to South Beach and partook in some restaurants and hotels and that kind of thing and beaches and all kind of, it wasn't totally warm. I don't think I went out in the water.
It's so different, because there's a lot of northeastern influence, but when you're from California and you spend time in California, DK, growing up, it's like, okay, I've seen palm trees. Like, Miami's okay. Miami's cool and all, but, it's not so different from California.
All right, so we've got a bunch of games coming up this weekend well, not a bunch of games. We have 2 games, actually. We have 2 games coming up in the playoff. The one game is tonight. The other game is Saturday, or is it tomorrow? I don't even remember when it is. But let me see. We've got Friday, tomorrow. Tomorrow night, Oregon and Indiana will play in the Peach Bowl down at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. Indiana is the favorite in that game at -3.5. Tonight, again, the favorite is the Miami Hurricanes at -3. So I believe our fine folks with Westwood One Sports have a play for you on tomorrow night's game.
I'm Pat Boyle, here to help you beat the books with Westwood One Sports. Indiana versus Oregon for the right to play in the Natty. A fitting rematch from October when the Hoosiers went into Eugene and won by double digits. Most likely the number 1 and number 2 pick in the draft this year with Fernando Mendoza and Dante Moore. 2 of the top coaches in Signetti and Lanning. I think the Hoosiers have the better QB, coach, and defense. Dan Lanning's best shot at winning this game is converting on multiple 4th down gambles. I say it's unlikely. I'll lay the points with Indiana. I'm Pat Boyle. Bet smarter and beat the books. Download the BetMGM app today.
All right, so Pat Boyle says take Indiana and lay the 3.5. So again, I guess we have to end our because again we were kind of flipping these, but now that it's a new network, we might just have to go back to playing the straight because I don't know if it makes sense to flip a new group of guys, a new group of people, because we were losing a lot with the old group. That's probably why they can't. It's exactly why they canceled the network because I called up and said, look. These people are giving me bad information. I'm $500 in the hole. I can't have this network on my station anymore, so cancel it. And that's what they did. They canceled the BetMGM network, and now we have Westwood One Sports.
So much pull.
Exactly. I mean, don't mess with DK. DK will get you canceled in a heartbeat.
Do you think it's wise to bet against Curt Cignetti at this point?
No, it is not. It is definitely not. Wise to bet against him. That's why I'm not going to do that. I'm going to ride with Pat Boyle and lay that 3.5 on Indiana and put our 12.90 on that. I mean, again, they went into Eugene and won by what, 20?
Right.
He said early in the season. Because I remember that game. I'm thinking, oh man, this is the game. This is the game where we finally find out that this is a pumpkin. And it was 30-10, so they won by 10 points. But still, in Eugene, winning by 10 and putting up 30 points. They've had only the game against Ohio State. That's the only game this season where they've scored less than 20 points.
How about first 2 seasons as a coach, AP Coach of the Year?
Mm-hmm.
Both seasons.
Yep.
I mean, I don't even know how to quantify that, right? It's like you're voted as the best coach in America in your first and second seasons. Broke the record, right? Or I think he's on the verge. He tied the record for most wins versus Power 4 conference teams in your first 2 seasons. So, yeah. I mean, they got the Heisman winner. They got everything rolling. I don't think I'm going to root for Nebraska basketball in the NCAA tournament this year, and I don't know how you can't root for Indiana football. It's just it's the same old, the Alabama, LSU, Georgias of the world, Ohio States. I just like to see some fresh faces in there, and especially now that it's expanded to 12 teams. The only team out of the 8, right, that had a bye in the first 2 years that actually got a win out of that bye, 1-7. So yeah, they're rolling right now. I really like the Hoosiers.
It's interesting, and we might delve a little bit. Maybe we'll dig a little bit deeper into how they've built this at Indiana because they become a team now. Again, it will quote basketball school, so very similar to us. How did they? We're always copycatting and looking at how things happen. How did this basketball school all of a sudden, and like you mentioned, they've won one. I mean, we call them a basketball school, but they've won one NCAA tournament game. And how long did you say last night? Like 10 years?
The Hoosiers basketball team? Yeah, it's I think one. They've been to the NCAA tournament I think 4 times, but only one win in the last like 14 years.
Yeah, so they've got one win in 14 years, and Arizona obviously.
I don't quote me on that, but it's been a minute. Like they're, I grew up in the Bobby Knight era. I grew up in the era where Indiana basketball was a fixture, and you expected them in the Sweet 16 every single year. And obviously they've had a couple of hit and miss seasons during the past 25, 30 years since Coach Knight left there, but nothing like a lot of people are used to. Indiana's always been that 6th blue blood. If you talk about the 5 blue blood programs, Indiana's always been that next team on the tier. But lately, they just haven't had success. So it gives those fans something to be happy about.
Well, they got $50 million from Merchants Bank. I would imagine that is a bank that is based in Indiana. $50 million from Merchants Bank. I don't know if there's any, do we I know we've got like banks that are here in Tucson that are national, like Chase is national, Wells Fargo
B of A
is national, but is there a bank that's kind of central to Arizona or from this area?
There's a lot of credit unions.
Yeah. And they pass out. I mean, they do a pretty good job of being involved in athletics. Merchants Bank is looks like it's actually based in Minnesota.
Well, it says here Carmel, Indiana is their headquarters.
Okay.
But it's in multiple states. Okay. Yeah, Wisconsin, Minnesota, Indiana.
So we need, I don't know. I don't want to start calling people out, but I will. Vantage West, or is somebody along the lines of that? Do y'all have $50 million laying around to give to this football program? So we can kind of begin to put ourselves. We talked about it in the fall. There were a few donations, right? 5 million. I think there were a couple of 5 million donations that came in a couple of weeks, but 5 million ain't 50 million. That's 10 times more million that Indiana's got coming in from one investor into their program.
I mean,
than the Wildcats had in what they announced this past fall.
It's a tougher ask this week because of what happened in Washington.
Oh, gosh.
So, I mean, the idea of going to these big companies and telling them, here, let's get $5 million for this quarterback. He's the best quarterback in the portal. Sure, let's do that, sign that deal. Oh, I'm not going to be playing for Washington this year, right? I mean, there's a lot of talk this week about the big boosters and people that do, put corporate-type money into NIL funds, maybe questioning or second-guessing that process because – some of the players are taking the money and running as opposed to, what is loyalty anymore, DK? I mean, it used to be you sign a, letter of intent. You generally would stay at a school, maybe transfer once. But nowadays, it's just how much money you can get on the open market. And that's leaving businesses less over the moon, excited about putting that kind of money towards it like they maybe did 3 or 4 years ago. It's kind of shifted a bit. But then you can point to the success of a school like Indiana, and you can turn a program around. I mean, how many new players did Arizona's basketball opponent last night have on the roster? I think 9 new players coming in. So, yeah, I mean, it's possible to turn it around. It's just a question. It's that weird gray area in between revenue share and being allowed to pay players where, yeah, you can put money up like the U did back in the early 80s, but if you don't get a big return on it, you might not get those same checks the next year.
Think about that. Just a little over 2 years ago, Arizona had landed Damon Williams Jr., and now he's the hottest, one of the hottest quarterbacks in the transfer portal, and probably is going to go to some school and make a whole lot of snatch. He's going to get a big bag, as they say. It's an incredibly interesting world that we live in right now in terms of college football, college athletics, period. And a lot of people don't like it, but it is what it is, and we talk about it. So we invite you to join us and talk about it. 520-848-1290. We'll get into, we'll chat Panthers football coming up at the 5 o'clock hour. And Anish Shroff is the play-by-play man for the Carolina Panthers. You hear him right here on Wildcats Radio 1290. He'll join us. We'll get his mindset on what the Panthers have to do to advance. They are hosting their first playoff game in 10 years. I'll tell you, if you don't remember, who the last team was they played at home. in the postseason when we come back. DK on the Sports Tip. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. With an earlier collision, Swan and Camp Lowell, I think that might be off in a parking lot on private property, Camp Lowell and Swan. Crashed 6th Avenue south of I-10, also Pima to the west of Dodge Boulevard. Slowing for traffic on Swan at Grant, also Swan and Glen, some slowing as well. Chance of rain into the evening. Freeze warning through Saturday morning. 35 the overnight low, sunny, 54 tomorrow, and 54 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together.
This report is sponsored by My Doctor Now, your same-day family doctor.
Never wait to see your family doctor again. At My Doctor Now, you don't need to take time off work or even schedule ahead. Open 7 days a week. It's your family doctor, available same day, every day, guaranteed. Go to My Doctor Now, your same-day family doctor.
Welcome back to Winter Hack Radio, the place for clever hacks to survive the season. Icy driveway? Well, try spreading sand or birdseed to help with traction. Snowy puppy paws? Well, grab a whisk, brush it off, done. Catch COVID-19? Well, just get...
Actually, there's no hack for COVID-19. But if you test positive, prescription medications for COVID exist. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Progressive presents Employee of the Month. Small Business Edition. Today's recipient from Terry's Tiny Homes, Terry! Sure, as the only employee of her company, Terry was probably the front runner, but saving money getting personalized discounts with a commercial auto quote from Progressive, well, that gave Terry the edge. Over Terry.
Terry, Terry.
Keep awkwardly chanting your own name, Terry. You deserve it. Woo! Be your own Terry. See if you could save in as little as 8 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
My heat and air were in a state of disrepair.
As the new year begins, Picturox Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing would like to thank you for allowing us to serve Tucson and the surrounding communities for the past 25 years. Whether it is a small water leak or a full air conditioning replacement, we do it all, big or small. For professional service, call Picturox Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing at 520-492-0748 or make your appointment online at picturoxcooling.com.
Picturox Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing.
Every day is a balancing act with work, family, goals, all asking for more. It helps to have tools that meet you at every step and a team that will always be by your side. We're ICCU. We're a credit union that has been helping members achieve financial success since 1940. In fact, we put members' success first, one by one, year after year, for 85 years and counting. Now, we're here for you, Tucson. Join us, ICCU.
From work to errands to family life, your car takes a beating. At Recon Auto Detailing, we don't just protect it, we maintain it.
They installed my ceramic coating in shop, and now their mobile team keeps it looking brand new, right in my driveway.
Ceramic coatings, PPF, tint, all installed professionally at Recon Auto Detailing. And with our mobile detailing, we keep that fresh, protected look mile after mile. One-stop shop, zero hassle. That's Recon Auto Detailing, Ceramic Pro West, Tucson.
Get your backyard summer ready with a custom pool from First Choice Pools. A backyard oasis built around you. First Choice is a full-service builder of beautiful in-ground pools and backyard designs for years of staycations. If you want to dive in this summer, now is the time to visit TucsonPoolBuilder.com. First Choice Pools for installs, renovation, remodeling, and repair. Get started today at TucsonPoolBuilder.com. Ask about our 60-day pool. To be summer ready, First Choice is the only choice.
Hi guys, I'm back. What's new?
Tucson Appliance Scratch and Dent Studio.
All the Scratch and Dent merchandise has its own new studio.
There were so many Scratch and Dent discounted items. Now they have a place of their own.
I love it. A whole Scratch and Dent studio right next to Tucson Appliance. They don't look like Scratch and Dent,
but it shows in the low prices.
Tucson Appliance Scratch and Dent Studio. Proud local supporters of the Southern Arizona Heartball. Only at Tucson Appliance, where you are a priority.
Hey, man. It's me, your furnace, man. Hey, can I get a light here, man? I know we live in Arizona, so I understand I'm not, like as cool as your air conditioner. But I still need a tune-up at least once a year, man. So get the best in town, man. Goodfellas AC, bro. Hey, anybody smell that, man? I swear it wasn't me. Okay, it was me.
Good service, good prices, good fellas. GoodfellasAC.com.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. Tune to DK on the Sports Tip weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m. The Wildcats Radio 1290 studios are brought to you by ICCU at ICCU.com.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Final hour of our show on this Thursday. Appreciate you being with us. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. We're going to talk some NFL football in this hour. The Carolina Panthers are in the playoffs. That means that Tetro McMillan, who had over 1,000 yards receiving for the Panthers this year, will be on the field this Saturday against the Rams, as well as Lathan Ransom, who saw his play count shoot up as the season went on, both playing in their rookie years for that franchise and getting them back into the playoffs for the first time since 2017. They're going to host their first playoff game for the first time since 2015 season. And do you remember, you should remember, the last team that the Carolina Panthers played in a home playoff game? Do you remember who that was? It was that 2015 season when they went to the Super Bowl. And in the NFC Championship game to get to that Super Bowl, they beat your Arizona Cardinals 49-15 to get to that Super Bowl, which they would end up losing to Peyton Manning and the Denver Broncos. And it's interesting because I think Peyton retired right after that, and there was a tweet out last week along the lines of, can you believe it's been 10 years since certain things happened? And that was one of them, was Peyton Manning, after this year, will have been retired for 10 years from the National Football League. That Broncos club beat the Carolina Panthers 24-10. The thing I remember about that Super Bowl, February of 2016, was I was working in television at the time here at KOLD, Channel 13, and I was dispatched to the Super Bowl party over at our partners, Casino del Sol. It was in one of the ballrooms there. And I just remember this lady, she didn't work there. She was just a lady who was at the party. And she just kept walking around yelling, "Free play, free play, free play." I'm not a casino person, so I had no idea. I was like, I was assuming she does that mean she gets about how many, what is free? This was 10 years ago. What is free play? Do you get a bunch of money to play or something? Is that just one extra spin of the slot machine? Is that a free play? But she just kept chanting free play. And I was like, okay, I think I used that in my sports report that night. And, something along the lines of, some lady is extremely happy that she's able to get free play here tonight. All right, 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. Let's hear from Andy. You're on Meridian Wealth Management. I'm not Meridian Wealth Management. You're on DK on the Sports Tip, Wildcats Radio 1290.
Woohoo! Hey, when the Panthers played the Rams this season, I thought the line was as close, if not more, during the regular season than it is for the playoff game. Do you recall?
The Rams-Panthers line for the game back on November the 13th. Oh, gosh. No, I'm sorry, November the 30th, not the 13th. November the 30th. It was the Rams were a double-digit favorite. They were favored by 10.5 points.
Okay, and now they're still favored by 10.5 points now.
I haven't looked at the line. Let me look at that line real quick for you, Andy. I had not checked what the line was on this game this weekend here.
And I'm
is
sorry to give you so many
10 and a
homework
half,
assignments.
10 and a half points. You're absolutely right. Yep.
Okay, so the wise guys are they weren't that wise back then, and I think they're missing something this time around too. They're playing in Carolina. I know that Devontae Adams is coming back, but I think some players for the Panthers are coming back on defense as well. So I kind of like this upset.
There's
at least to cover.
Yeah, I mean, at least to cover. Yeah, 10 and a half. That seems to be much for me, especially in a postseason. But there's a lot of people out there, Andy, that think the Rams are the best team in the NFC. So, and we've seen. I mean, that was not. I mean, even that day, Matt Stafford and company put up 28 points. They lost that game, but they put up 28 points. This is a pretty potent offense. They've had some special teams issues this year that kind of have cost them in some games. But it's going to be tough. I mean, Carolina's going to have to bring their defense because this is when Matt Stafford is on and with Puka Nacua leading the way. This is a really good offensive football team they're bringing in.
You know what the biggest issue?
I get it.
The biggest issue, guys, with the Panthers this year is they lost to the Cardinals.
I was
well,
at that game.
We all have our off game, but here's the thing. I forget who said this, but you are what your record tells you are.
Yeah.
And if the Rams are going to be all that, they would have won their division. They didn't do that. I think it's a lot of propaganda, a lot of fake news there out of Hollywood. I think a lot of wise guys people want the Rams to be a sexy team and be the team, but something tells me they're not. But we'll find out. I'm gonna go with the Panthers covering, and I think I don't know if they'll win out straight out, but Carolina is one of those teams you can't. I know they snuck in there with the help of the grace of God and the Atlanta Falcons.
They lost 4 of their last 6. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but they're one of those weird teams that can get up for a game here or there, and I think they're going to get up for this game. I don't think they'll get any further past the Rams if they make that, if that happens. But it's a nice Cinderella story. I'm cheering for the Panthers this year.
Are you cheering more for the Panthers than the Jaguars?
God, those are two still Cinderella teams, aren't they? I really think that the Jaguars are going to upset the Bills.
Really?
So,
wow.
Yeah. And I like the Texans. You know what? I'm going to say this for the AFC. I'm going to say the Texans are going to go be the representative of the AFC this year. Texas.
I think our guy Brad Evans. I think our guy from Brad Evans from BetMGM tonight. He likes the Texans and the Seahawks. He said take the Texans and the Seahawks in the Super Bowl at plus 2,200.
Well, I'm a Viking fan. I saw Darnold. I went to that playoff game in Phoenix last year when Darnold
Vikings and the Rams.
KOC and Darnold pooped the bed, and I think they're still staying. So I don't trust Darnold as far as I can throw him and KOC. But no, I don't think. I think Seattle's run is going to be over.
Interesting.
I don't think they may make it to the championship game, but I don't. Their defense is really good.
You know, my Sam Darnold, Andy was my fantasy quarterback, and there was a game late in the season they won 37-0, and he had negative points.
Yeah, it's their defense. It's their defense.
Exactly.
I'm telling you right now. So and one last thing for you: Cardinals picking up head coach Salas from the defensive coordinator of the 49ers.
Okay.
I could see that happen. I don't think Bidwell has the cojones to go after Brian Flores because he's part of that old boy network. But I do see him possibly going after Salas. It's a divisional kind of move. It strikes me. It has Bidwell written all over. Salas. I'm putting my money on that one.
All right. I don't know that that's what I want, but we'll see if that plays out.
I'm not a Cardinal fan. I don't care what they do, but I could see that happening.
All
it's
right.
in division. He's going to make he wants to make a splash, but not that much of a splash. He doesn't have to pay him a whole lot.
There you go. Andy,
All right, we'll see
appreciate
what
your
happens.
calls.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, have a great rest of your day. I have to see where I was in that pool with John Bailina and those guys. I forgot to put in my picks last week because I was too tied up in San Diego. I haven't even talked about San Diego, and I learned a lot being on the road
about yourself.
Yeah. about trying to put on a show in another city. Let's just put it that way. I mean, maybe I'll get into that a little bit later.
The thing
if
about
we have time.
technology, DK, is it's great when it works.
It's great when it works. Yeah, you can't control weather. Weather is can be the ultimate thing to poo-poo any assignment for sure. And you probably should know the city ordinances before you go out onto the road because they could be completely different than what you have here in your own hometown. We'll talk more about that as we move along. Maybe not today, but maybe we'll get into that tomorrow as well. It was a good time. We had a good time in San Diego. It was fun. And the only thing was, again, it was the weather was crappy. It was crappy the entire time we were there, except for maybe the 3.5 hours 4 hours we were out on that east lawn for the pregame show. That was probably the best part of the week. Was thank God it did not rain in that 4-hour block because we'd have been completely we were making contingency we did the show Saturday. We did the pregame show from our Airbnb.
Right.
We were making contingency plans to do the football pregame show if necessary from the Airbnb as well.
I would have thought that after your trips out to Marana, you would be prepared for any eventuality.
Yeah, well, yeah, you would think, but other people were handling all the stuff back when we would go to Marana. Now this was all me. I packed up we took my wife's car. Oh man, I packed that thing. She at one point said, I was thinking maybe I might bring my golf clubs. I was like, yeah, no, there's not going to be any room for your golf clubs when we've got a speaker and a tent and a table and a big gas generator and a cart in case we need to wheel stuff from one side of the stadium to the next. Yeah, no, there's not going to be, sorry, lady, there's not going to be any room for your golf clubs here on this particular trip. She did go to the San Diego Zoo. Have you ever been to the San Diego Zoo? J-Dub? Oh, J-Dub's on the phone. Sorry. We'll come back. It is time for the break anyway. 520-848-1290. We're going to talk to Anish Shroff when we come back and get his thoughts on the Carolina Panthers playing in the postseason for the first time since 2017, hosting a postseason game for the first time since they beat the Cardinals in the NFC Championship in January of 2016. DK on the Sports Tip. Cricket getting you home every 20 minutes on the fives with traffic and your weather.
From the Auto Nation, Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together. With collisions reported Shannon and McGee and Shannon, Tucson and Drexel and Tucson Boulevard. Collision on Valencia to the east of Mission, westbound slowing on Valencia, approaching Mission Road. So chance of rain into the evening, maybe until about 8 tonight. Freeze warning in effect through Saturday morning, 35 the low. Sunny, 54 tomorrow, 51 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together.
This report is sponsored by Mattress Firm. The once-a-year sale and clearance is here. Upgrade today with Mattress Firm's quality selection of top brands. Let their sleep experts find the perfect bed to help transform your nights. They make sleep easy.
Progressive presents Employee of the Month. Small Business Edition. Today's recipient from Michaela's Mobile Spa, Michaela! Michaela got a quick business insurance quote from Progressive and chose from over 30 customizable coverages. Sure, it helps she's her only employee and does literally everything. But while others would rest on their laurels, Michaela was hard at work saving big. So take that, hypothetical other employee who doesn't exist. Be your own Michaela. See if you could save in as little as 8 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Coverage is not available in all states or for all vehicles and coverage selections.
Career changers, including veterans and active duty service members. Your transition starts here. Go from GI to IT in a matter of months. Become a certified cyber warrior with training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, offering IT pros great opportunities and a rewarding lifestyle while protecting our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. Deploy your career in IT today at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
What's that song that goes ba-da-da-da-da-da?
You mean la-di-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee?
No, he's talking about bum 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 bum. No, that's not it.
All right, guys, we don't have time for this. Furnaces are breaking down, and we promise we'll be there in one day.
That's it.
With Alaskan AC service guarantee, we'll arrive in one day or your repair is free.
Oh, that song.
One of my favorites. If you have a problem today, Alaskan AC will get to you within one day.
If we don't, the whole repair is free. No matter how much.
So good, people are singing about it.
With Alaskan AC service guarantee, we'll arrive in one day or your repair is free.
Reminds me of that other song that goes boom, chicka boom, chicka boom.
I've never heard that.
Well, you're not as cultured as me. You have about as much culture as a bowl of yogurt.
With Alaskan AC service guarantee, we'll arrive in one day or your repair is free.
AlaskanAC.com.
Experiencing the natural wonders comes easy at Rocking K. Nestled at the base of the Rincon Mountain foothills, enjoy stunning mountain views up close every day. 6 model homes are now open to tour at Del Webb at Rocking K. Here, life is about more than just beautiful homes. It's about the experiences waiting outside your front door at this new 55-plus active adult neighborhood. LiveRockingK.com. Designed by Nature. Proud U of A radio broadcast sponsor.
Hey, Eugene, what's with the giant pile of scratcher tickets?
Just my next greatest idea ever.
Playing the lottery?
That's right, Doug. With all my winnings, I could enroll in the UberTube car repair classes and finally fix your car right. No more disasters, Doug. Your luck is about to change.
Well, then keep on scratching, Eugene.
Good luck, Eugene. But if you need a sure thing for your next set of tires or automotive repair, check out Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. With more than 35 Top Shop awards and our Partners Network 3-year nationwide warranty, you can count on Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care.
And check out this month's special savings.
You'll find an entire page of them online at jackfurriers.com. Savings on tires, oil changes, batteries, wheel alignments, and more.
So call ahead, make an appointment online, or just stop by any of our 14 area locations.
Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Since 1960, here to get you there.
Hey, man. It's me, your furnace, man. Hey, can I get a light here, man? I know we live in Arizona, so I understand I'm not, like as cool as your air conditioner. I still need a tune-up at least once a year, man. So get the best in town, man. Goodfellas AC, bro. Hey, anybody smell that, man? I swear it wasn't me. Okay, it was me.
Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. GoodfellasAC.com.
Westwood One presents Today in Women's Sports. The USC basketball team is going through a struggle right now. Over the weekend, their crosstown rival UCLA dominated them by a score of 80-46. And then playing at home on Tuesday against Oregon, the 21st-ranked Trojans gave up the last 14 points of the game and lost 71-66. Understandably, USC head coach Lindsey Gottlieb wasn't thrilled afterwards.
From my standpoint, about as upsetting a loss as we've had in this building. That's on me. That's on us. It was gross in every way, the way we handled when we had a lead, the way we handled when they were cutting into our lead. Obviously, I'm wildly disappointed. I respect and trust our players enough to say that to their face and fight to get better.
USC now has a 10-5 record on the season, with superstar Juju Watkins sidelined for the year. The Trojans will try to get back on track when they visit Minnesota on Sunday. With Today in Women's Sports, I'm Jody Jackson on Westwood One.
The cost of mesothelioma treatments can exceed $400,000, and families often face losing their homes and life savings just to pay the bill. The Rights and Claims Department of Flint Cooper has helped victims secure financial support they need to pay for their care and ensure their family's future. If you've been diagnosed with mesothelioma and don't have legal representation, call Flint Cooper now at 800-606-8169. Time is running out for you to file a claim, so don't wait. Call 800-606-8169 for a free consultation.
At Straight Talk, we get it. You say no a lot.
Mom, can I get a tarantula?
No.
Coffee?
No. So we're giving you more reasons to say yes, like a free 5G phone with real unlimited data with select plan activation.
Can I use the free phone?
Yes. See? Doesn't it feel good to say yes to more?
Absolutely. Face tattoo?
Absolutely not. Available at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Taxes and fees apply. In-store activation of Gold Unlimited plan or higher required. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
The NFL playoffs begin this weekend. We have been your Southern Arizona home for the Carolina Panthers this season, and the Panthers are back in the postseason. They'll kick off Super Wild Card Weekend against the Los Angeles Rams on Saturday, and we're pleased to be joined by the man you have heard all season long here on Wildcats Radio 1290, carrying these games, calling these games. Play-by-play man Anish Shroff joins us on the show. And Anish, first of all, appreciate you taking some time and describe the excitement level for us right now in Charlotte this week for the Panthers' return to the playoffs.
The city's buzzing. Everywhere you look, it's Panther talk. At the gym, in stores, people are wearing their Panther paraphernalia loudly, proudly. There's a feeling of community in this town, and you guys know it. When a team wins, and especially when it's been a while, and sometimes in this day and age, there can be some dark energy and negativity, and you kind of get over that hurdle. You are reminded of the unifying power of sports to bring people from all walks of life and all different beliefs, and everybody comes to the stadium, or they gather at their favorite bar and they chant "Keep Pounding." And it kind of reminds us of what we can be as a society, not to take it too far, but it's been really cool. There's been this shared brotherhood and sisterhood throughout the city these last few weeks, with the Carolina Panthers being back in the postseason and making the postseason push. So exciting time. First playoff home game in 10 years and first playoff appearance since 2017.
And it's been obviously exciting for us to be a part of this with two kids here who played some football in Tucson. We'll start with the first-round pick, Tetairoa McMillan. And it's been interesting because obviously he has set some rookie records with you guys this season, and that's been despite the fact that there have been some games down the stretch where they really have not necessarily been able to get him the ball a whole lot. What has been your impression of Tetairoa McMillan's first season?
He's been as advertised and so much more. He's a smooth route runner. He catches the ball with his hands. Everything is so fluid. And the most impressive part in all of this, from day one, week one, he was the number one receiver as a rookie wide receiver. He was at the top of the scouting report for other teams, and teams actively game planned against him. That's why there have been certain games where the numbers in the second half drop off, because the adjustment is don't let this guy beat you. Or you go into the game, if you're playing the pass, it's don't let Tetairoa McMillan beat you. And he's earned that as a rookie. And despite all that, he authored the best rookie season by any wide receiver in the history of the franchise. He looks to be a bona fide number one wide receiver, and a guy who, if he stays healthy, should be a problem for everybody in this division for years to come.
How's he dealt with that, the bracketing, obviously, being that focus? And like you mentioned, I mean, we mentioned there's been games where he's had just 2-1 catches. Has he gotten frustrated at all with that?
I don't think so. I think he understands that, listen, teams are going to try to take him away, but I also think it's made him a better receiver, because now you're getting everybody's best shot on a weekly basis, and he's done it as a rookie, and he still puts up 70 catches, 1,000+ yards. Even in a couple of those games that you mentioned where he had a few catches, he's still come up with a big play, whether it's a touchdown or a crucial first down catch or a crucial third down catch. He's had his rookie moments, right? There have been some drops. There have been some plays where you kind of go back and you say, okay, in college, maybe you can bring that in with one hand. In the NFL, maybe you need two. But I think he learns from that. And there might have also been a rookie wall at some point. There was a game a couple of weeks ago where game time decision, we found out he might not play because he had an illness. He played, clearly was not himself. That was the Seattle game and really wasn't much of a factor in that game. But, played pretty well in the final game of the season against the Bucs. He played really well against the Rams in the Week 13 win, had a huge fourth down touchdown catch. And he's the guy that Bryce trusts, and he has become what this team has needed since they traded DJ Moore, which was a number one wide receiver.
And on the flip side of that, Anish, you've got Lathan Ransom, high school graduate here, South Point Catholic here in Tucson, played on a high school team with another guy in the NFC South who's been brilliant, and Bijan Robinson, Bruno Fina, the son of John Fina, who was on those Buffalo Bills Super Bowl teams of the 90s. Recently, let's go back to Lathan has kind of built up his play count as this season has gone along. Had the game, unfortunately, against, I believe it was the Rams, where he made the critical late hit at the end that cost the Panthers. But you had to love, and I'm sure the coaching staff had to have loved the way he bounced back that next week and was able to get the interception at the end that secured a win for the Panthers.
I think that says a lot about him. Yeah, it was the game against the Saints at the Superdome where Tyler Shuck slides down late in the game. The Saints were probably out of field goal range when he slides down, and then Ransom gets flagged for the late hit. That puts them in field goal range. They kick the game-winning field goal. Young player, you wonder how he's going to bounce back. And then the following week at home against Tampa, huge game, another big division game. And with the Bucs marching down the field, trying to get in scoring range toward the end of the game, Baker Mayfield throws a pass, and Ransom comes up with a diving interception to seal the game. And so that was his redemption song in back-to-back weeks. He's a guy who plays with his hair on fire, and this is some high praise. When we asked Dave Canales a few weeks ago about Lathan Ransom, he said, you know who he reminds me of? A guy that Canales saw firsthand in Seattle. He said, he reminds me of Earl Thomas when Earl Thomas was a rookie. Now, Earl Thomas, you remember, turned into a heck of a player, hard-hitting safety, part of those great Seattle secondaries that won a Super Bowl and played in another. He said Lathan Ransom kind of gives you that, and I think he's got a great mentor in Trayvon Merrick. They play a similar style, and that's allowed Ransom to kind of work in slowly, but he's played meaningful snaps this year. He's been a big part of not just the secondary, but he is one of the pieces that you kind of look at going forward and you say, yeah, he's going to be a pivotal part of this Panther defense for the next few years, no doubt.
When you look at, obviously, head coach Dave Canales and dealing with the situation on the offensive side of the ball where you've got a veteran running back in Chuba Hubbard and then you get a young guy and not so young, but a new guy, Enrico Dowdle, that comes in. That's a situation that could have created a fracture on a lot of teams with who was going to be the guy. But what did you guys like about the way Dave Canales kind of handled that situation to make it work, to try to keep both guys happy in what could have become an uncomfortable situation?
I think the one thing about Canales that we've learned in 2 years, he's not afraid to make the difficult decision. Go back to week 2 of last year. The team's 0-2. They've been blown out twice, and Canales makes a franchise-altering move to bench Bryce Young at the time. And, people wondered what that meant, but he knew to win the locker room and to show the other guys that my scheme, my process, it works. They needed better quarterback play. And it was the best thing for Bryce at that point to sit back and watch Andy Dalton. Then they go and win in week 3 against the Raiders, and Bryce comes back and he's a different player. I think in a similar vein, Chuba had been banged up a little bit, and he'd been fighting a calf injury, and then it got serious to the point where Chuba had to miss a few games. Rico Dowdle put this team on his back for about a 5-week stretch where Rico was arguably the top 1 or 2 skill players in the NFL in that span. Went for 200-plus against Miami, then 180 against Dallas. Ran with his hair on fire in the win against Green Bay up in Lambeau. Then Chuba came back, and it took Chuba a few weeks after that to kind of get back into his groove. But I think Dave Canales has played his cards. He said, we're going to do what it takes to win. And now the role essentially is Rico's the starter, Chuba's the third down back. But if you get to a point in the game where one has the hot hand, like you saw in Week 13 against the Rams when Chuba was running better, then that player is going to get the bulk of the carry. So they kind of have a system for the both of them. And then credit to Chuba Hubbard, who in his 5 years with the team has been the ultimate team guy. This guy backed up Christian McCaffrey. And then when McCaffrey was traded, Chuba was the guy, lost his job to Deontay Foreman, who became the guy. And then Chuba kind of said, okay, I'm going to do what it takes to help this team win. He is the guy, and this is cliche, but you go to practice, first guy out at practice, and then we can never interview him because he's on the jugs machine for about 30, 40 minutes on the field after everybody is cleared out.
Wow. That is something for sure. You mentioned Bryce Young, obviously. And where did you see the biggest jump for him? Because, he's never I always kind of saw him as a guy, he never really – he's not reckless with the ball, I don't think, in the 3 seasons that I've watched him play. And we saw the touchdown numbers jump, and I think that, that kind of maybe flushes that out a little bit more. Is here's a guy who's pretty good at taking care of the football, doesn't make a lot of mistakes. But what did you see to be his biggest jump this year that allowed this team to have the success that they did?
There's an old quarterback adage where QBs will tell you when you see growth in a QB, they go from calling plays to playing quarterback, and you're starting to see that from Bryce Young, where things have just slowed down. He's recognizing defensive fronts and different coverages a little bit quicker. So much of what a quarterback is able to execute during a play is determined by what they see pre-snap. And I think that's where you're seeing a lot of the growth. And we were always told, shoulders up, that's where Bryce Young was at his best. And the game has just slowed down for him. Now, there are still times where there is these lapses and there is the inconsistency. You take a snapshot of the season, right? 448 yards against Atlanta, has the highest quarterback rating of his career against the Rams, and then he throws for 54 yards against Seattle. And so the consistency piece is the next piece to unlock. But the one area where this kid has been just lights out, when the drumbeat grows, his heartbeat slows. And late in games, clutch moments, that's where he shines. The moments don't get big. He's got 12 game-winning drives since he's come into the league. Nobody in the NFL has more game-winning drives since 2023, Bryce's rookie season. So that's where the Panthers and Bryce have kind of been at their best. If you let them hang around, they get into the fourth quarter, they get into these late-game situations, Bryce makes the plays. That's been the story of this season. They got a negative point differential. They're 8-9. Why are they in the playoffs? Because they've been able to win the close games, and more often than not, that has to do with the QB.
Speaking of banging the drum, we hear Cam might be back in the house this weekend for that role.
That is the big rumor going around, and it sounds like Cam Newton's going to be back, and if he's banging the drum, I tell you what, this city, this fan base loves Cam. Nobody put the Panthers on the map the way Cam Newton did. He was larger than life in every way, figuratively, literally, and for him to come back and for him to kind of be back where he belongs, if we're being honest, I think that might be worth maybe 5 or 6 points in the ball game, because these fans are going to be so revved up to begin with because it's a playoff game and they haven't had that in 10 years. And the city, as I told you before, has just kind of come together around the Panthers. And then when Cam hits that drum, we might register on the Richter scale here in Charlotte. It's going to explode. I'm excited for it because, again, there's no one in the history of this franchise who put the Panthers on the map in a way that Cam Newton did.
Panthers play-by-play man Anish Shroff is our guest. Final one for you, Anish. What can the Panthers duplicate from the early season win against the Rams just a few weeks ago that you think will allow them to get a victory number 2 and advance in this postseason?
Well, I think it's a couple of things. I think, one, the run game. They ran it 40 times in that game. They've actually struggled to run the ball consistently in the second half of the season. The Rams game was the outlier. If they can be physical, dominate the line of scrimmage the way they did in that first game, and by doing that, they also controlled the clock and they shortened the game. That's what they've been able to do when they've beaten the teams that have more talent. So the run game, Rico Dowdle, Chuba Hubbard, which has been a little erratic the last 4 or 5 games, they need that to be a strength. And then the one area where I think the Panthers have a decided advantage, and that can swing the playoff game, especially when you're at home and the margins are slim, special teams. You know, the Rams kick coverage unit is awful. They allow 16 yards per punt return. And your fans and your listeners may have heard us say it for weeks. It's felt like Trevor Etienne, the Panthers' rookie punt returner, has been close a couple of times to busting one. You're giving up 16 yards of punt return. If Etienne can get an opportunity, he might be able to get a big return. You can take advantage of some short fields. And then the other big factor, fourth down. When Carolina crosses the 50, they're the underdog. They're a 10-point underdog for a home playoff game. I expect them to be aggressive. In their wins, they're 16 for 19 on fourth down. And in the win against the Rams, they went 3 for 3 on fourth down. That extends drives. It wears out the defense. It also, as a defense, keeps you guessing because now it's 3rd and 4. Do you want to dial up a blitz when they can call a run play knowing that they're going to go for it on fourth down? So there's a lot of moving pieces there, and fourth down has been such a weapon. George Lee's the analytics guy, and he gets in Dave Canales' ear, hey, you cross midfield, we should be looking at 4 downs here. And so they'll stagger their play calls and essentially get into 4-down sequence if they need it. So I think you put those 3 together, win special teams, be able to run the football, and then convert those key fourth downs, not third downs, fourth downs to extend drives and pay them off. I think they got a chance. It's a tall order, but I think they got a chance being at home. And, again, if they can play off of that early momentum, too, after Cam bangs the drum, that goes a long way as well.
He is one of the rising young local play-by-play men in the National Football League, Anish Shroff. You've heard him all season long here on Wildcats Radio 1290, the voice of the Carolina Panthers. Anish, appreciate you. Have a great call on Saturday.
All righty. Appreciate it. See you.
Anish Shroff, the voice of the Carolina Panthers. Cricket is getting you home every 20 minutes on the 5s with your traffic and your weather.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. Backups westbound Fort Lowell approaching Campbell. Stay left to get by some construction there. Use Prince instead. Don't plan on using westbound Glen because westbound Glen west of Tucson Boulevard is closed there for road work. We've got reported collisions that are clearing. Valencia, east of Mission, was a collision and also reported as a vehicle fire. Tucson Boulevard and Drexel, and also Shannon and McGee. Weather-wise, there's a chance of rain into the evening until about 8 tonight. Freeze warning in effect through Saturday morning, 35 the low overnight. Sunny, 54 tomorrow, and 51 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
Discover luxury at BMW of Tucson, your premier BMW dealership. Explore our extensive inventory, lease specials, and state-of-the-art service. Visit us at the Tucson Auto Mall or at bmwoftucson.com today.
This report is sponsored by Discover. Guess what? Discover's accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. You heard right, 99%. If you don't think so, maybe it's time to face facts. You're stuck in the past. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report, learn more at discover.com/credit card.
What's that song that goes ba-da-da-da-da-da?
You mean la-di-dee-dee-dee-dee?
No, he's talking about bum, 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 bum. No, that's not it.
All right, guys, we don't have time for this. Furnaces are breaking down, and we promise we'll be there in one day.
That's it.
With Alaskan AC service guarantee, we'll arrive in one day or your repair is free.
Oh, that song.
One of my favorites. If you have a problem today, Alaskan AC will get to you within one day.
If we don't, the whole repair is free, no matter how much.
So good, people are singing about it.
With Alaskan AC service guarantee, we'll arrive in one day or your repair is free.
Reminds me of that other song that goes boom, chicka boom, chicka boom, chicka boom.
I've never heard that.
Well, you're not as cultured as me. You have about as much culture as a bowl of yogurt.
With Alaskan AC service guarantee, we'll arrive in one day or your repair is free.
AlaskanAC.com.
En garde!
Ever wanted to try an Olympic sport but think you're too old, too out of shape, too busy, or that those sports are just too unsafe? Think again. Fencing is taking the nation by storm, and it's a safe, fun, engaging sport that's perfect for everyone. Any age, any skill level. Classes are safe, active, engaging, and community-driven. No experience needed, and most clubs offer loaner gear for beginners. Learn more and find beginner classes near you at usafencing.org/tryfencing.
Want to make 2026 your year of adventure? Book that trip and learn a new language with Babbel. Go ahead, make a resolution you can stick to. Now is the time. Babbel's New Year sale is here. Unlock all of the languages on Babbel with the lifetime subscription for 65% off. Just go to babbel.com and start today. Babbel teaches you relevant words and phrases, so you can start speaking with confidence in as little as 3 weeks. And because Babbel's bite-sized lessons fit easily into your daily routine and are easy to remember, you'll be talking like a local in time for takeoff. Dive into the world of language learning content with Babbel's videos, podcasts, and stories from around the world, full of culture bites and language learning tips. Turn your daydream into a destination this year with Babbel. But don't wait. This offer ends January 15th. Get Babbel's lifetime access for less at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
It's your time to shine. This is Desert Diamond Casino, the spot with Arizona's only hometown sportsbook, the hottest slots and tables, and off-the-charts energy you won't find anywhere else. Here, there's always a fun-filled, action-packed, downright unforgettable night right around the corner. So let your hair down, turn the sparkle all the way up. It's time to live the diamond life. Desert Diamond Casino.
An enterprise of the Thama Ogden Nation.
Hey, man. It's me, your furnace, man. Hey, can I get a light here, man? I know we live in Arizona, so I understand I'm not, like as cool as your air conditioner. But I still need a tune-up at least once a year, man. So get the best in town, man. Goodfellas AC, bro. Hey, anybody smell that, man? I swear it wasn't me. Okay, it was me.
Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. GoodfellasAC.com.
Hey, I'm Chris Van Vliet, host of the #1 podcast, Insight with Chris Van Vliet. On the show, I sit down with the biggest names in pro wrestling, sports, film, and beyond. These are real, long-form conversations that go behind the scenes and beyond the headlines with people like John Cena, The Undertaker, Cody Rhodes, and more. We talk mindset, motivation, and what it takes to succeed. This is Insight with Chris Van Vliet. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Final segment of our show on this Thursday. Appreciate the opportunity to chat with Anish Shroff from the Carolina Panthers Radio Network. He also does a lot of college football. I don't think he's been on any of the Arizona Wildcats football games this past season. But who knows? Maybe we'll see him on a game coming up. Again, Panthers football will be on Freedom 1400 KTUC Saturday after the conclusion of Arizona women's basketball. The ladies will be home at McHale Center against Central Florida, looking to go for a second consecutive Big 12 victory, and they should be able to get that. Central Florida has won one game. They are also, I believe, 1-3 in the Big 12, so a pretty even matchup with the Golden Knights coming in here to Tucson to take on your Wildcats on Saturday. And Derek Palmer will have the call of that game, as he always does, with coverage beginning at 1:45 in the afternoon for a 2 o'clock start. The Pima Aztecs last night played up on West Anklam Road. The men won again by 30 points, 95-65. They have not lost this season as Brian Peabody's crew 16-0 on the year, off to a 6-0 start in the ACC-AC, and another talented squad there. And unfortunately, the ladies, though, did lose in their rivalry. That the Pima Mesa rivalry on the women's side is as good as it gets in the ACC-AC. Those two teams have pretty much either the other has won the region championship going back now over the course of the last 15 years. It's either Pima or Mesa Pretty much usually nobody else is in that conversation. And the Thunderbirds were able to come down and get an 11-point win over the ladies last night, although our girl, Melissa Nelson, had another triple-double for the Pima Aztecs, and she took home another award this week from the ACC AC. She is once again the Division II Player of the Week. So shout out Melissa Nelson. If you missed our chat, we chatted with Melissa, I believe it was prior to Christmas break. We chatted with her. So if you missed that interview, head on over to WildcatsRadio1290.com. Download our app as well. You'll get a chance to be a part of everything that we've got going on here in the coverage that we had. I mean, but
New Year's
that's
Day.
pretty. Yeah, New Year's Day was that?
Yep, New Year's Day.
Was when we didn't do it. No, we didn't talk to her New Year's. We were off New Year's Day.
Well, it says here,
So it
New
must
Year's
have been
Eve
New Year's
is what I meant to
Eve,
say.
yes,
Yeah,
New
the
Year's
last day of the year.
Right.
So, yeah, after Christmas.
So that third triple-double of the season for Melissa Nelson. She just continues to impress over there. And again, Player of the Week for December 28th to January 4th in the ACC AC Division II Player of the Week. And we've got more basketball coming up there. I believe both teams are home again this Saturday, if I'm not mistaken. The ladies will play. Actually, the ladies were supposed to play Friday night, but that game has been canceled against the Arizona Christian JV team. So they will not be back until next Wednesday night. That's one thing that kind of stinks now with the Big 12 is that the Big 12 has all these Wednesday games. That's usually when Pima plays. Pima plays Wednesday and Saturday.
Is weirder to me, DK, than a Wednesday college basketball game because, like, we're so used to Thursday, Friday, Saturday for the Pac, and even Saturday, Monday for the Big 12 schedule. But Wednesdays, man, weird.
I think we kind of get out of this at least the first 3 Wednesdays Arizona men play, and then I think it goes to Mondays and Tuesdays for a few weeks anyway. So hopefully we'll get a chance.
They
to get
also do home and away, home and away, home and away, home and away.
Yeah,
before they actually get a couple of
home
consistencies.
Games. Yeah. So hopefully we'll get a chance to maybe later this month get up to West Anklam Road and check out the Aztecs. But Wednesday, Saturday with Arizona playing those same days makes it a little bit tough to do that. But I think we're going to be talking next. The next player that we are scheduled to talk to on the men's side of the coin is going to be Brock Mendoza. So we're looking forward. I think we'll probably chat. We were supposed to talk to Brock earlier this week. But again, unfortunately, we had to cancel that show on Tuesday. He was going to join us on Tuesday. He's the sophomore center on this year's team. We'll get a chance to chat with Brock hopefully next week and get an update on what he's doing and how good this team is. Last year's team obviously went to the national tournament, and this year's team looks like they could be very much well on their way back to doing that. They have not had too many games where they've scored under 100 points. Last night was one of them, although the last 2 games they've scored 81 and 95. It gets tougher when you get to the ACC.
Ask him if he's had a chance to hold his cousin's Heisman Trophy.
Oh, is that his cousin?
No,
Oh.
but you always say cousin Merrill.
Cousin,
and
oh,
same
yeah,
name.
that's
I mean
true.
Mendoza.
Yeah,
not
that
a,
is
you know.
true. Yeah, Brock Mendoza. Yeah, that's true. That you never know. Distant cousins. That's how it works sometimes in these things. How about the Roadrunners? They got another winning weekend. So they played that New Year's Eve game last week against St. Eagle. They lost that game.
New Year's Eve, not New Year's Day, right?
Yeah, no, it was New Year's Eve. Yeah, but it was the New Year's Eve bash down at Tucson Arena. I don't know how many fights there were in that game, but they lost that game. But then they did go on the road and they swept Calgary. So the men of the Ice have won 4 of their last 5. So playing well right now. We talked about how they had kind of struggled to string wins together. Now they've got 4 wins in their last 5 games. So we'll take that for the Tucson Roadrunners as they continue into their season. I think, let me see if I have, I meant to look it up earlier because I'm sure we've probably got tickets we're supposed to be giving away and we haven't done so, but we'll have Cricket will have some tickets for you. I'm sure of, let me see. She may have left some tickets for me to give away because, Cricket is kind of tricky like that sometimes, where she'll just leave the tickets in my box and say, here, I'm a little bit busy, but why don't you give these tickets away to a fan. I don't know if she left me any for today. Let's see. No, not today. But we'll see if we've got any coming up here for you coming up. Where we'll give you, or she'll give you some tickets to see the Tucson Roadrunners. The Mammoths have fallen under 500 in the NHL. They got off to that hot start. They were 8-2, but they've lost 18 of their last 32 games. So they have fallen to 19, 20, and 3. So we'll see. We've 40 wins. That's the 40 wins is the goal. We want to see that franchise get to 40 wins. But did you hear that they are going to host, the Mammoth are going to host, you know, they have the Winter Classic every year, which is the outdoor NHL game that they play at football stadiums. And generally it's at a college football stadium. The Mammoth are going to host the Winter Classic next year at whatever the Utah Utes home field is. I forget. Right? Is it Rice Eccles? Is that where Utah plays?
Yeah.
So they're going to host that game at Rice Eccles next year. That'll be kind of cool.
I hope it snows.
What, better?
I mean, those games with snow falling, actively falling, are just the best visual.
Yeah. So that'll be that'll be the 2027 Winter Classic. The Colorado Avalanche will be the opponent against the Mammoth, and they will play that game at the home of the football home of the Utah Utes. Pretty cool there, for sure. So I think that seats about 50,000 there. 50,000. Those games are cold. Those games are cold for sure. But what better way to watch hockey than outside in a cold environment? I would
inside with a cup of warm hot chocolate.
There you go.
Yeah, 51,000, just over 51,000.
Yeah, just over 51,000. Let's give you, we had our question of the day. We threw it out there early. We'll throw it out there again and let you know where we're standing with this right now. So there are 8 NFL head coach openings right now in the NFL. The Dolphins, the Titans, the Ravens, the Falcons, the Giants, the Cardinals, the Raiders, the Browns. So we can only allow 4 in our poll because that's all Twitter gives you is 4 choices. So we X'd out the Ravens and the Falcons because those are actually not necessarily bad situations. The Falcons were 8-9. The Ravens, came a Tyler Loop kick from making the postseason. The Dolphins, we could have probably put them. The Dolphins and the Titans would have been the next 2 if we could have put more teams. So we went with the Giants, the Cardinals, the Raiders, and the Browns. Which is the worst current NFL head coach opening? Right now, 44% of the voters who have chimed in, you can head on over to our Twitter account at Wildcats1290 and chime in right now. 44% of the people saying my Browns is the worst of the head coach openings currently on the
You think that's just like Sanders slander?
No.
Okay. I mean,
we have a pretty piss poor owner. I'll just put it that way.
There's a lot of sacks, going on over there. Yeah. I don't know. It's so hard to evaluate the worst job, but it has to be based on, your roster retention and what kind of draft selections you got coming up this next few years.
I mean, we got a Pro Bowl defensive end.
Yeah.
We had a Pro Bowl tackle for years. It's the organization from top to bottom. And it starts at the top. When you go top to bottom, it always starts at the top. It starts with the owner. I've never been a huge Jimmy Haslam fan. He just continues to find a way to bungle this whole thing. Next after that is the Raiders, who we almost became the official Southern Arizona home of the Las Vegas Raiders. I'm glad I did not. That might be one of the best decisions I made last year, choosing the Panthers, who are going to be playing playoff football on Saturday, over the Raiders, who fired yet another coach.
I mean, the Aces got it done in a very short turnaround. So, I mean, that's a great sports city now. I mean, it wasn't a great sports city when I lived there 25 years ago, but now, DK, there's a lot of people who have transplanted to Las Vegas who are obviously, big into the sports book side of things. And there's a lot of support for teams. I'll never forget the Running Rebels teams when they were number 1 in the nation with Larry Johnson, all those guys. They would sell out every single game. The amount of fan support for the city, because the Vegas is known for sports and sports gambling, but they don't necessarily have a giant history of clubs from Vegas having great success. So when they do, people show up.
Ole Miss or Miami tonight? I can't, I used to live I lived in Memphis for a number of years. So the only SEC game I've ever been to was an Ole Miss game. I went to an Ole Miss Alabama game, and I believe it was 2005. First year I lived down there.
Miami's all their entire history portrayed themselves as the villains.
Yeah.
And so it's hard for me to root for them without any kind of interest in that. If I had a friend who went to school there, or if I had, friends who lived out there, I got friends in Tampa, not Miami. So I don't have a positive reason to root for Miami. They give you a lot of reasons to root against them.
All right. I'm going to go with Miami. I'm rooting for Miami tonight. Let's give you your Desert Diamond Casino replay.
The Casino del Sol replay is brought to you by Casino del Sol, home of award-winning dining, gaming, resorts, and golf.
All right, we had a chance to talk to our 1290 Suns reporter, Daryl Joyner, and he covers the Suns. What about this improved roster that has this team just 2 games behind the Lakers?
Yeah, I agree 100%. Brooks, he can get you some points, but also I think you have to look at the way this team is constructed. Booker is not your main ball handler now, and I think in the past couple of years with KD here and them not having a true point guard has added a lot of extra pressure and a lot of actual yeoman's work for Booker that it may have affected his game to a certain extent. I think he's been freed up of that responsibility now. You've got the likes of a youngster, Colin Gillespie. This young man has been subbing as a starter for Jalen Green, who's been out pretty much the entire season. He came over in that Houston trade, but Colin Gillespie has added a lot of point guard responsibilities, and he's averaging 13 points a game, about 5 assists a game, and he's hitting 43% from the field. But the basic advantage of having him in the game, it takes the burden off of a Booker, and also it creates a lot more spacing for this team to hit open shots. Gillespie, as you've seen, can penetrate. You get the double team inside, and then he kicks it out to a Royce O'Neal or to a Devin Booker or to a Dylan Gabriel or for, a three-point shot. And again, that has to be much of their ball game, taking those threes in this day and age of the NBA style. You have to be a lot more confident in that area. And I think Gillespie has added a lot of stability to that offense.
Today's Casino del Sol replay is brought to you by Casino del Sol, home of award-winning dining, gaming, resorts, and golf.
All right, next up, it'll be the Knicks in Phoenix tomorrow night, 7 o'clock tip-off right now. And let's see if they can keep it going. Suns right now are getting 2.5 points in that game against the 24-13 Knicks. All right, that's going to wrap it up for us. Thanks to J-Dub, thanks to Cricket, most of all, thanks to you for listening. Coming up next, it's the Tommy Lloyd Radio Show live in the rain or not in the rain at the Union Public House. Hope you're up there. Hope you enjoy it. Brian Jeffries and Tommy Lloyd talking a whole lot of basketball. My name is David Kelly. We'll talk to you tomorrow. DK on the Sports Tip. Thank you for listening, as always, to Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the Auto Nation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. Backups westbound Fort Lowell approaching Campbell. Stay left to get by some construction there. Use Prince instead. Don't plan on using westbound Glen because westbound Glen west of Tucson Boulevard is closed there for road work. We've got reported collisions that are clearing. Valencia, east of Mission, was a collision and also reported as a vehicle fire. Tucson Boulevard and Drexel, and also Shannon and McGee. Weather-wise, there's a chance of rain into the evening until about 8 tonight. Freeze warning in effect through Saturday morning, 35 the low overnight. Sunny, 54 tomorrow, and 51 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Discover. Guess what? Discover's accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. You heard right, 99%. If you don't think so, maybe it's time to face facts. You're stuck in the past. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report, learn more at discover.com/creditcard.
Celebrate Happy Honda Days at AutoNation Honda Tucson. Save up to $7,500 on pilots, leases starting at $399 a month, and enjoy incredible rates on 2025 and 2026 models. Visit us off Wetmore and Automall Drive today.
Welcome back to Winter Hack Radio, the place for clever hacks to survive the season. Icy driveway? Well, try spreading sand or birdseed to help with traction. Snowy puppy paws? Well, grab a whisk, brush it off, done. Catch COVID-19? Well, just get
Actually, there's no hack for COVID-19. But if you test positive, prescription medications for COVID exist. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Meet Lee Platts, a renter whose possessions fill not only her apartment, but also the darkest corners of a mini storage unit. A land of both truth and fiction. Truth, everything inside is protected by Progressive. Fiction, one day Lee will fit into her clothes from senior year of high school. Renters, discover coverage for what you love and what you can't get rid of in Progressive's Protection Zone. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers.
Tobacco Barn presents the continuing saga of Captain Tobacco.
We're here at a local Tucson tobacco store where evil high tobacco prices have gone up yet again.
Look, up in the sky.
I'm Captain Tobacco, here to fight evil high tobacco prices.
My hero.
Remember, citizens, save up to 40% on your favorite tobacco products at Tobacco Barn.
Look at those muscles.
Stand back while I hang 5 on these evil high prices.
It's Tucson's only place to save up to 40% on all your favorite tobacco products. You'll pay no city or state sales tax because they're on the reservation. And save up to another $3 off with a coupon at tobaccobarntucson.com.
He did it!
That's why I'm Captain Tobacco, fighting high tobacco prices everywhere.
Hooray! My hero.
Tobacco Barn, Nogales Highway, just south of Valencia. Check tobaccobarntucson.com.
Tell them Captain Tobacco sent you.
Oh, brother.
Clicks don't show the full picture, but Cumulus Digital does. We show you exactly who saw your ad by name and address, and our campaigns beat industry benchmarks by over 25%. Visit cumulusdigital.com today to start outperforming.
Everyone loves to get together for food, fun, and sports. But what's the best spot? I'm Josh Bishop, owner of Fork and Fire, Catalina, and Oro Valley. My brother, best friend, and I have been cooking for one another and for our neighbors for years, and we get to live our passion every day at Fork and Fire. At our Catalina Grill, you'll love the elevated bar fare and barbecue, served in our relaxed and fun neighborhood grill. Fork and Fire Catalina, where great food meets good times and a strong community. Bring everyone on down to Fork and Fire in Catalina and Oro Valley.
Hey, man. Yeah, it's me, your furnace, man. Hey, can I get a light here, man? I know we live in Arizona, so I understand I'm not, like it's